Welcome to the Heavily Opinionated Podcast. It is your boy, JaMychal, aka Melly Mel, whatever you want to call me. And with me, I
The
got
man himself, they call Playboy Troy. What's going on, people? What's going on?
Ain't much.
who else I got with me?
DJ Rose on the ones and twos, baby. You know what it do.
I'm trying to tell y'all this Negro is not no DJ,
I'm
but
gonna make you
okay.
call on the yacht, though. I'm gonna make you call on the yacht, though.
I'll give you that, but that does not make you a DJ. That just means I want you on the aux.
I
That
want to see
don't
that
mean you
DJ
no
degree.
damn DJ.
Let
I
me see
don't.
that degree.
Man, who else I got with me?
You got boy Big Cooley checking in for the one.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. So it's been a crazy week in the NBA. And that's all we're going to really be talking about today. We're going to get straight into it, y'all boys. So, how do y'all feel about that man JaMychal Green's text? I mean, his tweet
Instagram.
or Instagram post that he
Cap?
put out. Yeah, I can't tell which one it.
It was that
It was,
story.
it was,
like,
it was an Instagram story that he posted.
Oh, okay. Okay, it was an Instagram story. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
You want to give
I
a
see
quick?
it.
You want to give a
Here we
quick
go.
background on it, or you want me to hit you up with?
Yeah, let's get it.
We can go straight into it. We can go
Yeah.
straight into it. I'm sharing it right now. Let's see. This is what he posted. What was his Instagram title? Road to Riches _0. I already off rip. I'm not even liking the man's Instagram handle. It's given 45 years old. It's given 40. Road to Riches _0. That's not even his number. I don't even know what his number is. It ain't 0. I ain't never seen the man wear 0. He be having like 33 and 19 and
Big
random
nigga
numbers. Yeah, big nigga random picked up
83.
10-day contract numbers. This is the last jersey we got. Numbers, like that's what he got. All right, this man said, well, LeBron says, we don't work on flopping. We're just not a team that goes around looking for flopping opportunities. Not us. It's never been. There's actually never been any teams that I've played on in my 20 years where we've been a flopping team. I'm not going to lie to you.
between
Reading
all
that, I kind of agree with
You
JaMychal.
got your laugh between all that? That sounded
Big
like
That
Cap.
is cap, LeBron.
It sounded
Yeah.
like Cap.
That's good cap. That's good cap. That's good cap. It sounds good, but
It's a PR cap. It's a PR cap for real though. Definitely PR.
That is yeah, LeBron James. You know LeBron James be out here lying. Why? I don't know why we acting like this surprise.
He reading
Yeah.
books upside down.
I've been reading this book a long time. Only says out the first sentence of the book. Come on now.
I really like the Bible. I like the Bible when they talk about Buddha and Muhammad. Bro, what?
it's the same guy. LeBron is the same dude that doesn't know lyrics to rap songs, and he mouths
Bro,
off the
for
lyrics.
real.
Oh, I gotta give him that. I gotta give him that. I don't be knowing so.
But you don't post on Instagram about it
And go.
That's
line
true.
for line
That's
like
true.
you know the song.
Yeah.
And you messing up the lyrics.
Boy, I would hate to see LeBron try to do Dreams and Nightmares. That would be
Just
horrible.
sitting there rubbing his
Hold
hands
on,
the whole
wait a
time,
minute.
shaking his
I believe
head,
I was in it.
acting like the lyrics is hitting him.
What?
Oh God, no! There's LeBron doing that. There's a clip of it.
believe.
Oh God. Okay. I'm gonna hold you to this. I'm gonna hold you to this, Rouse. Oh no. Let me Google it. Let me see.
Bro, it's not good.
LeBron.
It was not. I don't think it was.
I know he's done. I know he's done that T Grizzly song.
Yeah.
No, I don't see nothing. I don't see nothing, Rouse.
All right, hold on. I have connections, so that's it.
You say you got connections?
No.
You got his Instagram profile or something?
Cap.
There's a reason for
Oh, man, like that. I wish I did. I'd be at the game. I'd be at the fucking game, boy.
All right, Shannon.
Hey.
I peeped that. Shannon talking about the game. He be there now. I'm like, okay, that's a big fan right there. But this was LeBron's response to it. He put like Tuscan leather with, what did he say? Bench players talking like starters. I hate it. He got that.
He even got the subliminals down. He got the cap. He got
Yeah.
the subliminals. He's just a rap nigga now. Like, he's a rapper.
Yeah, he is. John Morant.
Oh
He John Morant.
no. Oh no.
See, no. John Morant is the new age like street rap, and LeBron is like the old school Jay-Z Nas type of like, you know what I'm saying? OG rap.
My man.
OG with the ball.
They
My man,
introspective.
John Morant's like NBA young boy, and LeBron's more like Ice Cube.
That's 4K Jones.
That's
4K
I
Jones.
can rock with that.
I wouldn't say Ice Cube. I would really say, I'm gonna be honest with you, LeBron low key kind of Drake.
LeBron has
Cause
been
like the
playing
way
since
people
slavery
hate on
ended.
Drake is the way people hate on
LeBron
LeBron.
has literally been playing since slavery ended. He played when Lincoln let all the slaves out. Like, he just been playing forever. He been here. When Jesus had walked across the water, he happened to come across LeBron sitting there just shooting a fadeaway. That's how it went.
Ain't it? LeBron saying that's a walk.
Like, come on, bro.
When Jesus walked on water, LeBron walked on that court. 3 steps.
Same exact time too. Hey, bro. Hey, the three Kings wasn't gonna be coming to go see Jesus when he was born either. They was about to go check LeBron James to see if he was a real king or not.
LeBron was there.
It was like, you want to come with us to make
LeBron was there. What's that meme they say about LeBron when they be saying like he tries to bring himself into everything? He's like, oh yeah, I really like that. Yeah. I like that part. Yeah.
He quit.
I like that part when you died for our sins. I remember that. I was there. I was like, oh, okay, you gonna do that? I was there at the table, bro. I told Judas, I don't know if you want to do that.
I was there helping him carry the cross across the field. So that man carry that.
Pathological liar. That's what he is.
Hey,
shout out to his son though. Shout out to the son. I like the USC decision. Keep it home. You know what I'm saying?
I'm scared for his son, but it's okay.
I think it's a smart move because you know you're gonna go to the league regardless. So you gonna leave home anyway. So you might as well just chill now still. So I don't know. We'll see. We got more time to see. We gotta also let his first season go through before we really see if USC was a smart move or not.
Yeah,
because I don't remember anybody really coming out of there outside of the Mobley dude in a while. Like before Mobley, I don't remember anybody else recently coming out of USC. So
it could be a good and a bad thing because it could be like, damn, is he actually really good enough to make that name and come out of there? Or, you know what I'm saying? And gives him a chance to really see where his talent is at and grow from there. Because like, hey, but I could say possibly maybe 2 years. That's a legitimate
guarantee one.
You know what I'm saying? I mean,
guaranteed one. There's no question.
Depends on who. They also got to think it might be a new coach in there that LeBron might like already know. But I feel like that probably been like already introduced into the media. They would have been like, oh, his new coach is somebody who's been working with LeBron for years or something like that. So I feel like there's also like smaller things to it besides it just being home. I feel like there might be like a program thing. Because let's be honest, USC is not the top program. If you went to Duke or to UNC or Kentucky, well, Kentucky's, they've kind of fallen off recently, but like Duke, UNC, Gonzaga, Kansas, it would have been like, oh, that's obvious. We know why you go there. But USC, it's kind of like outside of it being home, what's the realest reason why? You know, the only home choices would have been USC or Ohio State.
That is because that's a guarantee. Because he already know. Everyone already knows he's going to the league. That's why I say he's a guaranteed one and done. Yeah. Because to him it's like, oh, I'm just going to school just to get it out of the way so I can be eligible.
True. He could go to Santa Fe Community College.
Yeah. So it's like, no matter what, it just kind of just have that notch over. Like, just go ahead and just check that off, so he don't have to go overseas. Because you have to go overseas. I think you have to play 2 years overseas. Because you can't do one and done overseas anymore. I'm pretty sure that's the new rule now. But
oh yeah, because then the U.S. ain't gonna make no money off.
So you have to play 2 years overseas, or you could do 2 years in the G League, or the G League now. I want to say that's what they call it now. You have to play those. You have to do that. If not, then you can go to college for that 1 year, and that's okay. And it's already guaranteed for that. And plus, you have to think. He's LeBron James' son. Like, he's actually a good player. So it's like, he's already getting people that's coming to the school with him. He has Dennis Rodman's son coming there with him.
Oh, for real?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
See, okay, that's a good thing to know. I didn't know that. That's dope. I like that. Speaking of the overseas thing, it'd be cool if the NBA did have like overseas teams. It'd be kind of cool one day. Kind of like the G League, but you basically make another an overseas G League.
Well, recent years they've been having games in China and having games. They've been trying to make them international connections over the year, trying to establish themselves in those other markets. So it could be a potential there.
said the
Yeah,
only
I
problem
would
with
like to see that. So that way you can pull in those guys
yeah,
even quicker. You can have them develop. It's similar to what soccer kind of already does. Like you can play for like a Chelsea United here in America. You just play for their development American team. And then when they're ready for you, they bring you over to England and then you play over there. So
I'm,
yeah, we'll see.
I ain't
But
gonna hold, depending on how this Victor
go ahead.
Wembanyama thing, like that's an actual international player that's already globally known to the level of degree saying that he's trending to like but everyone knows his name. Everyone's like we done seen him some kind of highlight off of Twitter or something like that. If he were to come over and translate, and then he wouldn't have just a city or a state like behind him. That man will literally have a whole country. And I think that could potentially open the doors to the
Where's he from? He's from France, right?
yes, sir.
Oh wow, he's gonna go crazy on the international because their team's already pretty decent.
but that's the
Exactly.
thing
Yeah,
though.
France
In
He
like
has
with
speaks
some
like,
English though. That's
great
what makes
team.
it kind of easier. He speaks English too.
is
That
it a heavy accent like
Yeah,
Giannis? Because you know
it's
how they
probably
try to do
it's
dudes
actually
like
kind of like
Giannis
Giannis,
and
but he
Schroeder and
sounds
Jokic.
like he has. You can understand what he's saying though. Like it's like clear
Okay,
enough for you to understand what he's saying.
yeah, I still don't think it'll help because,
Mm.
like I said, I don't think America is ready for the face of one of their organizations to be someone not from here.
Yeah, I get it.
I don't think they're ready for it. So
It's
it's
kind of like
unfortunate, but that's just
it's
how it
kind of like
is.
the Rudy Gobert. Like he's kind of like a Rudy Gobert kind of situation where Rudy speaks French and English, but you understand what he's saying. But is he gonna have a difficult time like converting over here? No, I don't think it's gonna be a hard time. All he really has to do for him to be successful is just put some weight on his bones, and he'd be good to rock.
yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to end up like Chet. Chet ain't even
Wait,
dribble a ball yet, but he got hurt in summer
look
leagues,
at
ain't
look
it?
at him now.
He done got better now.
Look at him for real.
Oh yeah, most definitely. He done
AD
got
with the
better. He
glad
just got to stay
feet.
healthy. Ooh,
Oh, my
They was
ooh,
about to like if
hey,
the rumor was
ooh.
actually if OKC could have gotten the playoffs, he was able to play then. 'Cause
yeah, that
he's
would have
healthy
been
now, but they only sat him out for the rest of the season so he could be ready for next season.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll see. We'll see. All right. Well, let's get into it. The man Rouse, his boy, balled out
and
against the Warriors. So let's take a look at that man
What?
Lonnie
Okay.
Walker the
You know,
fourth, right? The
yeah,
fourth or the
he was
third?
the
the
fourth.
fourth.
The team got a SWAT team of boys,
Okay.
so
All right.
Ron,
Okay. Let's take a look at some of his highlights.
boy,
Let's see what he. This was the first quarter. See, he was this game. I saw him just really distributing early. It wasn't until late when he was just like balling. But the first like half, he was just kind of like passing and moving, passing and moving.
if you want
sure.
to see
Playing within the
the real Lonnie Walker, you gotta see like his early like before the All Star.
That's what I wanted, but Rouse didn't give me nothing. He just gave me this. I'm like,
so
all right,
you
dude.
said from the season, but I'm saying, but if you're talking about real raw, you just going to San Antonio.
I said anything prior to this game, and you ain't give me that. So I'm like,
Oh,
all
why
right, we
you
just go off this.
man? All right, hey, let's watch this for a few minutes. I got you.
All right, go
Rose
ahead.
dropped
Send
the
it to
ball
me. I'll try
again.
to get it.
What? All right. We said like we just said this season, but okay, all right.
It's your boy.
Regular
But
season, this
Let your
season,
boy
this
down.
is
but you still didn't give me that.
but
You still didn't give me anything from this season.
I was like, let me
Even
can I give you my reasons why I was screaming so hard about Lonnie Walker? I'll tell you why.
talk to me. Talk to me.
I said I
Go ahead.
wanted Lonnie Walker in because majority of the time when you look at the game, look at the matchup with Steph versus Dennis. It's kind of fucked up when you can when Steph Curry can bully you driving the ball. Kind of fucked up. It's so weird to see, but if you really watch that tip, Dennis could play him full court, but when it came out again to the half court defense, he was getting pressed. Draymond getting buckets on you, like he was. In terms of a big team, he was the only real small player on the court. You put Lonnie Walker in because he's athletic. The left hand shit, that really kind of was the plus because him and D'Lo, there's been times if you really watch them boys play, they'll both go for a mid range, but the other one's sitting right there to the right side, wide open for a three, but they taking the mid range. You know what I'm saying? So it was
Mm-hmm.
a lot of not bad shot selections, but taking a shot that when they had a better shot, but just playing within the flow. You know what I'm saying? Because they're not one-on-one players, but they're rhythm players, and that's not really a problem. It's kind of like the J.R. Smith situation. You can have a man just be out there playing 3 and D. Next thing you know, couple timely buckets, now he's a hero. You know what I'm saying? And coming into this series, it was kind of questionable to me why they kind of cut his minutes off. Really, really, I can understand going against Memphis a little bit, but like, because they were a smaller team, you still just got AD out there. You want to use Dennis against Tyrus, John, what's his name, Tyrus Jones. I believe that's his name. I don't want to mispronounce his name.
That's the dude from
Memphis,
Memphis.
yeah. So it was like Dennis was able to cook, but with Steph and Jordan and all them boys over there, it was like, hey, they small, but he real small. You feel me? You know,
Mm-hmm.
when going against Denver,
Mm-hmm.
they're gonna hold. It's gonna be a nice spell. D'Lo has an off game. I like Dennis and Lonnie Walker in at the 1 and 2.
Okay. We're gonna see. I got these other highlights real quick, so I'm gonna go ahead and pull these up in a second.
Did I
Lonnie
still drop
Walker
the ball
highlight
there, Frank?
mix.
Though I just want to know.
I think you picked it back
All
up
right.
and dropped it again.
Okay. Ah,
Jesus Christ, 7 minutes. We're gonna get into it. What's this? Oh, he played for. Oh, this is the Lakers. Okay. I'll say he played for Milwaukee.
nah, Milwaukee still can do it.
Sheesh. See, yeah, this is. See, I would have loved to see that.
He has a great
Ah,
upside, and he's very athletic. He's very athletic.
It's like Malik.
facts.
It's like Malik 2.0.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's giving. I see that. I
Yeah.
can see some Malik Monk in.
Damn, those are disgusting jerseys. Is that from this season? From the Wizards?
I think so.
Wow.
Yeah. Those.
That's ooh.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough in Washington right now.
Damn.
Yeah, ooh, nice.
Oh, look at Russell
A
Westbrook.
nice
I feel so bad for Russ, man. This man literally got off the team and now they're in the conference
He still
finals.
get a ring
When
though.
he was on there,
Yeah, he said he won his ring.
I don't. Not about the ring. It's more about just the overall aspect of like, dang, they weren't gonna get here if you stayed on that team.
That's all it was to me.
I felt that way up until he got traded. No, I wouldn't say up until he got traded. I felt that way until they made the playoffs. Like when they cut him and they still weren't there yet, I was like, see, it's nothing. But now that they're in the playoffs, I'm like, oh, I don't know if they would have made it
But
this
that's
far
the
with
thing,
him.
though. What happened
fit
really
never-
how it kind of played out was they had the money for Russ. Well, they didn't have enough money to keep Russ, AD, and LeBron. So basically, what they did was get rid of Russ to get all those parts the pieces that they actually needed, and also a contract that was holding them down was a Patrick Beverley contract too. So they really got rid of both Pat and Russell Westbrook for Vanderbilt and Hachimura and all these guys. That's the only reason. And if he was still there, they would probably still have the same results, I would say. But I mean, like that's why I say he was scapegoated, because literally, look at when he went to the Clippers, he was a great piece for them.
Yeah, he
still.
was a step up.
But he was still scapegoated because they lost. And it's like, yo, how's Russell going to keep that team afloat when both the top two guys are injured?
I disagree with you, Nigel, only on this point. We all already know because of the fit, because LeBron, he's a shooter, but we know he ain't the greatest. AD, sometimes we don't want this man to shoot, but he can shoot. Russ is not a shooter. That's why it didn't work. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't that he got older. Yes, he did get older. He didn't have the same athleticism, but that's not necessarily on him. He still played the same, gave you the same output, same energy, didn't give you the same efficiency because why didn't have the same opportunities to have those looks? That's why. That's why it didn't work. That's why it wasn't going to work. There was the spacing, the play them, like literally we saw in the bubble where they literally did that man like they did Dylan Brooks. We forget about that. They picked him up. That's on them on that tip. That was a bad move. It was a move of trying to get a star player to think that it would be a nice plug in so LeBron could get a break. But when you really look at it, how could you look at that 3-team? That when you talk about a team going in and saying having balance, where's the balance with that team? That's why it was like the only greatest thing that he really left behind was being the value that he was to get the value back. That's the only real plus of that. So where you say, okay, yeah, because if it was a busted trade, we ain't talking about
it. Okay. I see what you mean.
Only reason, I'm not saying I disagree, but I will say the only reason I say that that team would be where it's at because they actually started getting on the roll once he started coming off the bench. Because the problem was him, LeBron, and AD couldn't coexist all together on the same court at the same time. When Russell had when he was on the second unit and he was the lead of the second unit, that's when everything started to click.
It's balanced. It's a give and take. So when you got LeBron, AD, and Russell Westbrook all on the same, like on the court at the same time, it's a pull for who will lead the offense, who gonna bring the ball up, who gonna take these shots. But if you got Russell Westbrook coming off the bench, then it's more of a flow because they're gonna play off of how Russell Westbrook and the
Hold on, Frank. Who is this dude?
Thomas Bryant.
He is going crazy. Buddy is going wild, bro.
Old boy who
Close your lips,
he
bro.
wanted to lead the Lakers because he wanted more minutes, so he got traded to Denver. Now he ain't playing at all.
He's about to, hold on, he about to play now. He getting his revenge minutes now.
He's
not against the Lakers too.
You gonna cut me? You gonna trade me?
Yo, here they go again.
No, Harrison walked away. And I'm gonna be honest, Harrison, it's been 7 years. It's been 7, 8, 9 years.
They traded.
Oh, they traded him?
Yeah, they said KD coming.
Yeah, they traded him just so they could make up space for KD.
I thought he had left first. Okay. Okay, but go ahead, Frank. Finish what you were saying. I just had to come. I just seen that. I was like, Buddy is going
a
crazy
balance on the team. So just who gonna get the shots, where the ball is flowing. If you have Russell Westbrook at the helm of the offense for the second unit, then you know the second unit gonna play off of Russell Westbrook. If you got LeBron, AD, and Russell Westbrook on the same court, then it's like we trying to feed AD, but then Russell Westbrook with his shots, but then LeBron is like, oh, I'm here too. So it's like it's imbalance.
You know what I think didn't help? Adding Schroeder, because Schroeder also got a lot of his game from Westbrook, because there was a point in the series where Schroeder was doing a lot of Westbrook's type plays where it was like, bro, you're fumbling, like you're stumbling, you don't know if you want to lay up or if you want to kick it out, you the turnovers. He's a way better defender of them, Russ, of course, but it was certain plays that I was like, all right, you learned that from playing with Russ for years in OKC. Or for however long you guys played with each other. So I think having both of them on the court or just on the team in general wasn't good either. Because you don't want two Russes on the team. I'd rather take Dennis Schroeder because he at least comes with a little bit better defense at least. And maybe a little bit better shooting. Yeah, his athleticism might not be where Russ is at. Like, he's not going to be able to drive that heavy. But he made his free throws more than Russ. He has a better shooting and he plays better defense. Those are three things that LeBron likes on his team. Make your free throws, pass good. Say again?
He throw a better alley than D'Lo. No cap. Like when D'Lo be throwing a pass.
Yeah, I've never looked at D'Lo for an assist anyway.
Real.
I've always looked for him for a bucket.
Real. They need not a true guard, but someone else that can facilitate the offense that LeBron does have to bring up the ball every fucking time. That's the big
exactly.
Team in the time.
I think I lean more towards.
All right, we can watch this quick one. The man drops 26 points in a quarter. Then we can move on to the next topic, see what else he does with this. 26 in his second game as a Laker. Okay. He was with the Spurs first, and then there was no team in between, right?
Oh, sir.
Okay. Was this like a mid-season trade or like a?
The off-season.
It was the off-season signing.
Okay. Off-season signing. Okay.
Yeah.
So the Spurs let him walk.
Yeah, they let him walk. They said
sorry. I've been quiet in the background because I was doing some research. I'm over here doing my Kenneth impersonation, looking at stats. I'm a stat man now. The numbers. So I looked up Russell Westbrook's like stats, right? The last couple of games. Yeah. Because Kendall said his shooting was streaky, and I wanted to point out that statement because I find it funny that it's okay for LeBron and AD to be streaky, but when there's other people around him start being streaky, they gotta go.
LeBron has been shooting dog water this playoff.
Dog water. And I just find it funny.
But it's LeBron, so
it's like it's LeBron's team, but this is where, like, okay, so Russell Westbrook, right? His last playoff game, which was against the Phoenix Suns, he had 9. The first game he had 9 points. Second game he had 28. Third game he had 30. Then the next game he had 37, and then for the last game he had 14. Right? If that, you telling me you don't want that coming off your bench?
Narvi.
His shooting.
What was his shooting percentage? So there was 3
Hold
for
on.
19 in there
3 for 19 was for the first
28.
game.
The second game,
9
it
for
was like
16 was for the second game. 11 for 23 was for the third game. 17 for 29 was for the fourth game, and 3 for 18 for the fifth game. Okay, that's just Russell's stats, right?
Yeah.
Then LeBron got over here, right? He got his last post games, which was the Golden State Warriors series. He gave you 22, 23, 21, 27, 25, and 30. He shot 9 for 24, 10 for 18, 6 for 11, 10 for 25, 9 for 17, and 10 for 14. That's just his stats, just LeBron's. Of course, I'm not comparing LeBron to Russell Westbrook as of skill wise and who to keep on the team more. But I'm just saying, in this situation, I would like to have Russell on the team still, but coming off my bench. If I could still keep him, I would. That's just me, because I'm like, yo, he's a great leader for my second unit. Because you're telling me, like, I'm like, man, Russell Westbrook coming off the bench and he's leading my second unit, he's gonna literally have free reign all over that unit. So he's gonna be able to do whatever he wants over that unit. And it's not like Russell goes out there and plays horrible defense. His turnovers are ugly, yes. And sometimes his ugly turnovers is the story that's being told about Russell Westbrook. When you watch the game, you can see my man is giving you 110% on defense. He's giving 110% on offense. He's being a leader, but the turnovers do come at the wrong time.
And that's what it's all about. It goes back to LeBron. Yes, he's been shooting dog water, but he hits those threes when they need it. I'll go in the Golden State series because disclaimer. I have only watched maybe 3 regular season games, and then none of them were one was a Laker game. It was the one where he broke the record. Other than that, I watched like a Dallas game and maybe another Dallas game. I can't really remember. I was in Dallas at the time, so other than that, but this Golden State series, his threes that he's made were ones that needed to be made at the time. I'll say that. I don't know much about the Memphis series. I'll give you the dog water in the Memphis series. I don't remember him hitting a lot. But this Golden State series, he was hitting them when needed.
When we spoke earlier this week. This playoffs showed you that LeBron is kind of getting older, and he's really been laxing throughout the whole playoffs. Because every game that the Lakers have won, it's always been someone other than LeBron majority of the time. Like somebody got a great game. I think the only game where it was like LeBron's game was the one to close out Memphis, I want to say.
This is the argument I have.
Go ahead, Rouse. Go ahead.
The man is hurt. We know about the right foot. He was compensating.
I know.
We know about it. And you heard it here first. At the end of the season, the man's going to have surgery for the first time in his career. He's playing through something that he shouldn't really be playing through. And you're right about the dog water shooting. You're exactly right. And that's the scary part. Because they're winning with him shooting 19% from 3. They beat Memphis in 5. They beat Golden State in 6. What do they look like if the man?
See, that's the thing, though. The man ain't gonna be hitting threes. He hasn't really been hitting threes since, and really before the injury. He has LeBron James have. We need to start making it seem like LeBron James has been such a great shooter. He hasn't been such a great shooter. So it's like his past 2 years. It has been going down. Like that's how it is. And for a person, one, they keep the Lakers on TV. That's one thing. So you're going to see a Lakers game on TV if you watch basketball throughout the week. So my statement is, I've watched so many Laker games where I could tell you exactly how their Laker games are usually going to go, because it's usually always going to be a dogfight in their games all the time, and it's also going to always be a part where it's like, oh, the Lakers look like they're out of this game, and then they'll fight back, they'll get in here, and they'll tie the game up, and guess what? LeBron will get the ball, come right down, and shoot a half-court three, or shoot not a half-court three, a logo three. He does it all the time.
He did that heavily last year.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it that much in the Golden State. He's been a bit more disciplined in the Golden State series.
So like he stopped doing that because it's starting to become a hindrance. Because at first it was like, that's just LeBron James taking a shot because he's LeBron James.
Mm-hmm.
But after a while, it's like, yo, my man, that's how you kill the momentum, when you take shots like that. When your team is on a run, it's only two things that's usually going to kill the momentum. Well, it's going to be turnovers, a timeout, and bad shots. That's usually going to be the things that's going to
bad shots.
Yeah, just like those three main key three things that's going to kill your momentum. You prefer it to be a timeout because that's how you know you get into the other team. That they know that you're on the run, so you would like a timeout. Turnovers, you don't want that because you're like, dang, bro, we literally are doing so good. Now you have to go back on defense and get that turnover back. And a bad shot, it's nothing you can fix about a bad shot. You just don't need to take it. And LeBron takes those every single time. And it's like, yo, you literally just came down from 13 just for you to shoot this 30-foot jumper. Like, man, come on, man. And it's always that fadeaway three. And it's like, yo, come on, bro. Like, yeah.
Yeah, he's got that sweet spot though on the right side of the arc. Yeah. When I know he's over there, I'm like, oh, here it comes, and he ain't gonna miss those. But it's that top of the arc where he be bricking heavy. He bricks heavy from the top of the arc.
Coming down the court, walking down the court, right dead center, he takes that shot. And it's exactly. Like, bro, did you need to take that shot? And it's not like it's like they swung the ball around.
Facts. It was unnecessary.
Take that shot.
Who would you rather have take that shot? LeBron or Jordan Poole?
But it depends on what part of the game we on. So that's what I'm saying. Like, first of all,
what about y'all, Frank and Rouse? Who y'all want taking that shot? LeBron.
What's
or Jordan
my option?
Just a random 30-foot jump, 30-foot 3-pointer.
LeBron or Jordan Poole?
Who in the crowd? Who in the building?
Who in the building?
I gotta have content.
Who in the building?
We in the city.
Okay. We got
you know who in the crowd?
Who in the crowd? I can't even bring up a list of people right. This is who in the crowd.
All right. I think, yeah. You said Jordan Poole, LeBron? I gotta go Jordan Poole, man. LeBron.
There he go. I knew he was coming.
LeBron to shoot, and we'll be like, that's uncalled for.
I'm no slander. I'm taking LeBron. I got faith in LeBron.
Real.
But then again, if Meg Thee Stallion, Zendaya, her,
Chloe Bailey,
Kiki Palmer, I'm good.
But if Rihanna in the crowd,
I'm good on that. Yeah, the Bailey sister, one of them. I'm gonna have to go Jordan. Jordan's gonna pull.
Oh, Riri in the crowd.
But yeah, I'm about to say, what if it's Riri or B or Queen B or Nicki or somebody a little bit up there in the age, up in his bracket? He gonna take that. I'll go LeBron. But if it's in that lower bracket with the Pools,
like I said,
okay. So all right, next we're gonna talk about this All NBA. We're gonna talk about this All NBA team. Let's see. Let me get the screen. Technical difficulties. Share screen. NBA communications. There we go. All right. So Rouse said you wanted to discuss which team do you want to go like third and then all the way up, or do we want to just go like first and then?
Well, shoot. Let's start from let's start one. Let's start one. Let's start with one.
Start for the first
Let's
team.
start with
All
the
right.
first
So far, okay. You did tell me they were doing more like a flexible positions
That's
because
how I've
it's
always been.
looking
Two
like.
guards, two
Well,
forwards.
that's good. 2 guards, 2 forwards, and a center. That's the same. Okay. No, because when Rouse was telling me about doing this topic, he said something about like this was the first time they let like
one.
just whoever be in
It's supposed
it.
to
So I was expecting it to be like no guards at all. Like I was expecting it to be like Giannis, Embiid, Jokic, like all the front runners for the MVP, all bigs, and then like maybe 2 forwards. Like or like maybe 1 guard or something like that. But
Man,
no, it
get
seems like
your
it's
man
pretty.
out of
Yeah, it's pretty
Four,
much the same.
2 out of the 5
This is about the
didn't
regular.
play in, and only one is still in the playoffs. But they're all on the.
Yeah,
And
but
this
we're
is
just
about
talking
the regular.
players. We're not talking teams. This is not first team teams. This is first team
First
players.
team play.
I'm pretty sure there's some. We could go back and look at some first teams. We're not going to do that. If you want to do that, go ahead.
JaMychal.
But I'm pretty sure there's going to be some where that dude ain't make the playoffs, or that dude got swept. Because honestly, being swept in the first round is equally as bad as not making. Prior to the play-in tournament. Hold on. I'm almost done. Prior to the play-in tournament, being an
But
8 seed
we're
and
forgetting
getting
the key
swept
part of it,
out
though.
is just as bad as
This
not
is
making the
all
playoffs.
these awards are based off the regular season. It's only all based off regular season. It's not based off of what they do in the playoffs or whatever.
Oh
It's
yeah, I
all
forgot about that. So yeah, okay.
That's supposed to be the best thing.
No, I'm
Well,
just talking about for
no.
Kendall.
I was saying that in a
He's
sense
saying
of
some of them, they
that
didn't make it to
team is not
playoffs.
even up to caliber anyway.
You're no, because your stat and your record matters. Like if you're just putting up 30 points and y'all niggas only got 7 wins, you're not first team all NBA.
No, that's that Paulo Banchero.
You're just not first team. You're just not.
Last year,
You're
Andrew
not
Wiggins made
conducive
All-Star
to
team.
winning. You're getting great stats,
Was he?
but you're not winning. That's not.
Kendall,
Because he was
you know that's a
team.
lie.
Oh shit, yeah. He was a young child putting up numbers. That's not, but this is not a fan vote. This is a media and players thing that go on with the All NBA. It's supposed to be position. It's supposed to be the best spot, best first five,
This is why you need
best
to start
second
from the
five,
third
best third
team
five.
and move
First
and
two players of the
work our way up to the first team.
So like,
Because this will tell you third team, work your way up to the second team, then the
so,
first team, and then that would be the best way to flow this out. Like, Kendall, let us get to that team so we can talk about it.
why is he on the third team? Trey Gill just
talk about it.
talk about. One of the things like that. Yeah,
what we got? Third team, Sabonis, Randall as the bigs. Okay, Sabonis is the center, forward, guard. That's a good team. Outside of Julius Randle. I'm sorry.
Is it? I was going to see his first team.
It is. Yeah.
Oh, my screen
I
must
scrolled
be
down, right? It's third team. De'Aaron Fox, LeBron. Does it say it? Oh, okay. All right. Let me see if I can. No, I'll just stop sharing and then reshare it again. Oh my gosh, I keep taking the thing out of the thing. There we go. Screen. How can I be homophobic? All right, here we go. You see third now? This brother done muted himself.
For real.
Oh, he hopped out. Okay. Let's just talk about it till he hops back in. Yeah, I think he was just resetting his thing. All right, so the third team, we got De'Aaron, Dame, LeBron, Julius. All right, cool. Randall, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm taking this team on blacktop. Let's judge these teams based off of would we take them in blacktop. And let's just not do all the numbers and the records and stuff. Let's just talk about who would we want on blacktop. I feel like that's a better conversation to have about this. I feel like Julius is the only liability on this team. Everybody else on blacktop is going to get me right.
Him and Sabonis are 2 weakest ones.
I think Sabonis could help in the blacktop. The way he was Sabonis, playing,
but his shot is so like like I know he's a good shooter, but I don't know.
He was taking too long with the ball. It was pissing me off. It's like I get that the play is you stand there at the what are they, not the top of the key, but what do they call that part?
At the free throw line?
Yeah, there's like another name for it, right? I don't know.
Because I would say
I'm
majority
off.
of plays start at the top of the key.
Yeah, but that's like I'm talking about like, you know what? Forget it. We don't need the terminology. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Yeah. He's playing right there, like right around the free throw line, and he's just like standing there, and he's holding the ball in one hand, looking and waiting for De'Aaron or the other dudes. I can't remember their names right now since the series is over.
Yeah.
Them to like get around the screen. And it's like, bro, you don't have anybody on you. Just take the shot. And it's like he would take forever to finally be like, okay, they're not running or they're having trouble getting around. Let me take the shot. And it's like,
yeah, it's not
exactly.
It's not an in rhythm shot.
Move faster. He needs to move faster.
But that's the NBA's offense now for some reason. That's how the NBA offense works, with the big starting off the play in the very center of the court, which is kind of ridiculous to me, but it's whatever. There's nothing you can really do about it. That's just how they. Because I'm about to say Miami does the same thing with Bam, where he literally he brings the ball up and he sits in the center.
Okay. And
then the play starts and it's like, yo, why don't we have the point guard bring the ball up the court and start to play like how old school basketball is? But I'm an old school basketball kind of guy too, so.
Okay, all right. Let's move on to the second team. Would we take them in a black top? Oh, damn, yeah. Ooh.
This is the second team.
So this is the thing, right? The way that the teams are set up is basically to show you who's the second best player in that position and who's the third best player in the position, best person in that position of this year, right? So when I look at the teams, I go, like just now, I go, man, was Steph Curry better than De'Aaron Fox this season? Yes. Okay, that kind of makes sense. That's better. Was Jimmy Butler better than LeBron this season? You could say yeah, because LeBron kind of sat out majority of the season. Was Jaylen Brown better than such and such? Like you could go that.
Who was the other forward that we had? It was LeBron.
Luka is number one.
Hold on.
No. I'm talking about in the third team.
So you got.
Oh, okay. They had the power.
There it is. Was Steph Curry better than Damian Lillard this season?
Yeah.
Yeah. Was he better than De'Aaron Fox?
See, but Jalen is a forward on here. That's okay.
Well, he technically is a forward too.
Okay. I guess
him because he's still a small forward.
I guess we would compare De'Aaron to Donovan, and I guess we would compare Julius to Jalen. Yeah, I guess.
And Jaylen Brown was better forward than Julius Randle, and was Jokic better than Sabonis?
Oh,
yes, most definitely. Yeah, most definitely. So that's why I'm like, okay, I could live with that second team, and that's something I could deal with. That's better than that.
Okay, you guys got anything to say about that second team before we move to the first?
I would.
Would you take them in blacktop?
Most definitely.
Embiid with Joker, I would swap them out, but other than that, I keep it like that.
Oh, you put Embiid on the second.
I'm just interested to see what y'all gonna say about Shai Gilgeous and how he's had a better season than Steph and Damian and these boys. I'm just interested.
Okay, yeah, that's where I can agree with you, Rouse. I didn't watch the regular season, so I kind of want. That's what I kind of want to take a step back because I couldn't even tell you any. I don't watch it. I don't watch the regular season.
See, that's the thing.
So I'm going off his previous year of seeing.
OKC wasn't on TV this year.
Yeah.
No. It wasn't. It's not that he wasn't on TV. I just wasn't watching or looking out.
I'm saying, even if you were watching, he wasn't on TV. Him and them, OKC and the Kings were on TV. At majority, they think he was on TV like once this whole year.
Yeah, that's why when I looked up.
Dang, that's tough. They was in the play-in tournament.
Yeah,
maybe that was their first time on TV.
Yeah, a lot of people was like, that's why when the Kings had gotten the playoff series,
exactly. I was like, whoa,
I haven't watched the Kings
all year. In the playoffs and they number one seed.
Wait, time out. They were winning games around the time when they played against LeBron in the all-time game. They were winning games. The them up was towards the end of the season when they started dropping games. It was like, well, damn. They were the 10th seed, right? And they lost, ain't it?
Who?
Oklahoma City. They were the 10th or 11th this year, weren't they? No, they weren't.
They've been hanging around the 10th, 11th spot the whole year.
No. At one point they was 7. At one point they was up.
You know what I'm saying? They was hanging around the bottom. They've been hanging around the bottom of the playoff, like the playoff seeding the whole entire year.
Bro,
like they weren't like in the high like top 4 kind of section. They just was hanging around 7, 8, and 9 majority of the whole time.
There was a point they had more wins than the Warriors.
Yeah.
There was a point. there was a point, but I think around it was in March when they started dropping, and it was just like, well, damn, we're gonna wait and see what Chet come back. And it didn't happen. They was
Yeah,
dropping
because
games,
they
but
set Chad out for the whole year, the
yeah,
rest of the year.
and the highest they got was 7th in the West, and they ain't hold that shit for long. So I'm trying to understand how's he on the first team as the best point guard in the league.
Because it's an individual award. It's an individual thing.
Individually better year than Steph Curry this year, or individually better than Damian Lillard. Damian averaged 32.
Because one, you have to think their team was already
Not
written off as a that team was already written off as a rebuild. They're not good. They're not none of this stuff. They were not in any type of contentions of anything. And Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, I don't know exact. I'm pulling it up right now. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, I want to say he averaged like 30. That's what I want to say. He averaged 30 this season. So he was on, yeah, I was about to say, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, he was actually the highest, he had the most, he was the scoring champion for a little bit this season. Because he was averaging the most points. And I think he ended up averaging 31 at the end of the season.
yeah, it's 31.4. Steph
Yeah,
had
like,
I believe I'm checking Steph. I believe Steph
I gotta
32.
respect that.
Damian was
31
at 32.
points. I gotta respect that.
31 points, and you weren't. What were they winning? What expectations
Okay,
his
was
okay,
that?
okay,
We're
individual
okay,
in the
award,
okay.
you
I
know?
got the winning part.
year.
I
We're
got
saying
the winning part.
compared to other guards in the league, Dylan Brooks had a better year. He had a better winning
Okay,
year.
I got you, but I'm not talking winning. I'm not talking winning
Just
personally.
individual
I'm
performance.
talking just like numbers and how
Yeah,
did you do? How can you
you could say,
affect to
and
this
it's
team?
okay to say Jalen
Because this is
Brunson
a
was
new
snubbed.
team.
He was snubbed, yes.
Oh, I forgot about that dude. Oh, and he's a point, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
he's a guard.
Oh, okay. Because yeah, we got to get into who do we think were misses for this team and who is a miss and where would you put them?
But are you
Don't.
basing Jalen Brunson's? Are you basing him being on the team, on the first All NBA team, based off of his playoff performances or his whole season?
Yeah. Well,
No,
see,
so,
that's
so
why I feel like I don't have a. I
we're
can't.
going. This is what you said. Regular season expectations, your numbers, and what was your record looking like. That's what all
No,
goes into.
it's not. But you keep trying to put record in there.
This,
There is no record in there.
Magic. Kemba Walker was never all NBA when he was on the Charlotte Bobcats, right?
Yeah,
He was averaging 28, right?
yeah.
So why was he on when he had 7 wins?
Because what was everybody else doing?
There wasn't like right now where everyone averaging 30. There was only Carmelo and KD and LeBron that was doing 30. So what are we talking about here?
And talking about who was the point guards that Kimball Walker was being compared to?
Hey man, you
Oh,
tell me. You tell me.
you the one who
You
brought
tell
up
me.
Kimball Walker.
Cause you say he
I
had
didn't
an
bring up Kimball.
individually great year, but I'm just trying to sit here and say individually you got a great year, but if your team sucks, you're not all NBA.
Well,
Rouse, I hate to break it to you. After doing some further research, the criteria for the first teams are based off points alone. They don't talk about your record or your expectation.
Roll them up.
It's a numbers. It's a stat.
It's a number.
You want to see
Roll
it?
them up.
I
You
Google
could do
searched
it. It's
it.
numbers, but 31.4 is still less than 32. So
Just as right here, it says the players. I spelled criteria wrong. The players' highest point totals at their respective positions make the first team, with the next making the second
I'm about
team,
to
and
say
so
that's based off of who votes. The points as of who votes. So people who are NBA analysts, like NBA players, former NBA players, all their votes count for who is going to be first team and all this stuff. So from them watching the game, they go, okay, we want to put Shea Gilgeous-Alexander as a first team because he was a first team player. Did he make the All-Star game this year?
yeah, you did first.
who Shy
I believe so. Yeah,
Shay.
because somebody they had people
Because
set out.
somebody got injured. That's what it
Yeah,
was.
that's
So
what it was.
He was a
he wasn't actually
reserve.
supposed to be on the All-Star game, and that was the first complaint because he was the leading scorer of the league at that time when the All-Star came out, and it was like, why is he not playing in the All-Star game? And then somebody got hurt, and then they put him in the All-Star game because he literally was like, even if you watch that playing game, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander was literally destroying these teams. He was
Yeah,
he was actually putting in that work. They just end up losing because they don't have that many good players.
Yeah,
It looked like
Gilchrist
they don't
Jr.
have no
Yeah.
defense
So
either.
like when you have when
Based off that playing game I watched, I was like, ugh, they can't defend nobody. And even when they get Chet, it's like, can he keep up with a dude like Cat
as the
defensively?
time
We'll have
goes
to
on,
see.
yeah, they have that's the only good thing about OKC is that they have so much youth. Once they start getting that youth developed and they also get more veteran players there, they're going to be a challenge in the West again. And with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander as the head of that horse, they're going that team is going to be. You need to look out for them. This year was play-ins. Next year is probably they might be in the play-ins again. But I can see them either be in the play-ins again or they're going to be around that 7th, 8th seed. They're going to be in that section to do play-ins again.
So Shai Gilgeous says, what about Luka? Because he had an individually great year, but he went from third to completely out of it.
Yeah.
So if I'm just gonna sit and say we're gonna have the same energy as saying his point, then like what are we talking about here? What we really get into? 31 to 32. And we're saying, oh, it's point individual great years. He did not have a better year individually compared to Steph Curry. He did not have a better individual year compared to Damian Lillard. Yeah, he had more wins to get to the play in. That's team success. That's still added in when you look into, is you winning and are you having success? That's what goes into saying all NBA. Like you could take this player,
No,
and then
bro, it's not. They said it's just based off numbers.
It's not.
Well, if it's not numbers, I don't know what else it is.
Has nothing to do with first team.
They said it's just numbers, but if they're okay, so you're saying that there are people on the first team whose numbers aren't higher than the people below them?
Yes, if you really go ahead and take a dive in, like Jokic. You telling me Luka had better stats?
Jokic has more numbers than Embiid.
Jokic.
No, Embiid and OKC is positionless this year. There's no more position. You could have two centers in the lineup.
It don't look like they went that route though. But see,
that way.
It's literally two guards and two forwards and one center in each section.
I know they can, but it looks like they didn't choose to.
This is why every year when it's almost on contract negotiations, they say, "Hey, you gotta make all NBA, so you make this extra $46 million." Like JaMychal. This is because of that. When you say, "Oh shit,"
why you throw shade at John like that? He lost title. Okay. I thought you were talking about. Okay, you were okay.
This shit matters.
Okay. My bad.
Did Ja Morant have a better year than Shai Gilgeous-Alexander?
Yeah, I could argue that.
I had a better year than Ja Morant.
Did Ja Morant have a better year than Steph Curry?
No.
Did Ja Morant have a better year than Damian Lillard?
Yeah.
No. Individually? No, he did not. He did not have a better year than all three of them. Individually, he did not have a better year than all three of them. He did not. He just didn't.
Okay. I just know somebody was second in the West. That's all I know. That's all I know.
That's the team. That's the team, though. That's the team, though.
Team records. We're talking about these are individual things. You can't be like right now, Jaren Jackson Jr. won Defensive Player of the Year because it was an individual thing. He led in blocks. He was a great defensive player. Guess what? Who else could? Boston has a great defense. Why didn't anybody on Boston team win it? Because they all individually, no one stood out. But as a collective, they were a great defensive team.
Their defense was trash this year.
Guess what? Jaren Jackson stood out as an individual player.
Yeah,
as an individual. And also, guess what? That's very questionable too, because Giannis could have been in that conversation. There's a lot of players.
No, they threw Brook Lopez, and that was just stupid.
Brook Lopez was a great individual defender. What are you talking about?
Bro, you're not putting him out there in Steph Curry. You're not doing that. Sure.
Jaren Jackson was out there. He was leader of the blocks.
Jaren Jackson can. Brook Lopez, no.
But that's why Brook Lopez didn't win the award. He was second. I thought he
was running up.
Yeah.
He was second.
But who else was better defensively?
Yeah, I would argue honestly, it was really to me Drew Holiday and Brook Lopez, was not Giannis.
Fuck no.
Like, when you talk about something, hey, who's out there guarding the guards they playing against over there in the East?
We're not.
Somebody against Donovan. Somebody matching up with them. It wasn't G.
Steph Curry gonna put some points on Brook Lopez scoring on him. Yeah, I could deal with that. That's okay. Well, guess what? He gon' I'll say Steph Curry probably shoot 2 for 6 on 3 points with Brook Lopez on him. But you put Embiid, or you know what? I'll be simple. You put Ayton on Drew Holiday. I got Ayton at least going 4 for 6. At least 4 for 6 on Drew
You
Holiday.
got DeAndre Ayton. What? Stopping him or scoring on him? So what are you talking
DeAndre
about?
Ayton gonna score on Drew Holiday.
Oh, nigga, of course, because that's size. You can't teach. I didn't say Drew Holiday is the best defender in the whole league. When I said in terms of to play guard play, he's the best, hands down.
When
Of
I
course, he's
at
not
that
guarding
point
no
at this
fucking
part at
LeBron.
this part, I
Of
was
course, you
thinking
still put him on
Jaren
no
Jackson
Embiid.
won
What are you
defensive
talking
player
about?
because he was a great, outstanding defender. And you said Brook
He
Lopez
was a
was
weak
second
side
runner up.
shot. He was a weak side shot blocker. When you look at him matching up with, especially something against LeBron James,
Who Jaren
look at the tape. Look at the tape.
Jaren Jackson
That's
Jr.?
all I'm gonna say to you. Just look at the tape.
I'm asking you, Jaren Jackson Jr.
Yeah, look at the tape.
So
He's a
who
great
should
weak
have
side
won?
blocker.
And you said Drew
Great weak
Holiday should
side.
have
He's
been.
great on help.
You said
There's
you
a
said Drew Holiday
difference in
should have
help.
been defensive
There's a
player.
difference in defense. There's a difference with on ball defense and help side defense. Giannis is a great help side defender.
Why?
I would say the same about Jaren.
That's why that man on
Hey,
first
he's on
team.
first team.
All right. We gotta get
Hey,
to
look.
it. Everybody
Can I
made their
make my last
spots.
statement?
I don't think we're gonna be able to get into.
Gilchrist
Go ahead,
Jr.
get into
or
it. Get into
Gilchrist
it.
Alexander had an undeniable great season. Like, he deserves to be first team All NBA.
Breakout.
Do you have any misses that you think should be on the list?
Not that I could think of at the moment.
Ain't nobody really regular season wise missing. Ain't that many people that can. I mean, Devin Booker.
Do they do a first team stuff for the playoffs?
No.
Probably not,
No,
right?
they don't.
Okay. Well, I'll give mine. Since I didn't watch the regular season, I wasn't really able to chime in too much about who I think should be on the list because it's like I wouldn't know. But at the end of this season, I'll do one for myself, and I want to see what you guys feel about it. I'm gonna do a list to get you guys. It's gonna piss one of y'all off, and I think we all know it's gonna piss off. But
We all know.
I'm gonna do a list. I'm gonna do a list at the end of the NBA season of my 3 first teams, and I might even do some Player of the Year awards. I feel like I'm gonna do that and see.
I
what
think
you
we
guys
all
feel
should
about
just
that.
everybody just make a playoff all NBA a playoff.
All NBA
Yeah,
players.
we definitely got to
First
get
one,
into
playoff
that.
for third.
Well, yeah, that's a good idea. We should all make that at the end of the season. We'll give everybody, like, after we react to the finals, or I
Put my
think
boy Jimmy
it
Buckets
just all
first
depends on how the finals
team.
goes, depending on when it goes. That episode we can react to the finals, talk about it, and then we do our like awards and stuff like that, and then we'll get into it. So yeah, that be on the lookout, y'all, for that. That's definitely gonna be something worth. That's gonna get somebody's blood pressure up.
We all know
So
which one.
let's move in.
Nah,
It's the one who already got high blood
Oh
pressure.
my!
I don't know who y'all talking about.
Oh my!
Nigga.
We gonna start in the West, the conference finals, the Nuggets versus the Suns. I call that before the series started. I said I liked the Nuggets, and they pulled it out. Like I said, the Suns didn't have a bench. They didn't have a bench. You reliant on your starting 5, and if they don't produce, which they didn't, because you had Chris Paul out, Ayton was dog water. Down the stretch, Devin Booker, like, he put in a good effort, but at the end of the day, it wasn't suffice. And then KD, they started double team KD and really just let Booker do his thing. And yeah, that was the story. And also, Joker was just walking no dog with Ayton. And
It wasn't even 80.
and then
Yeah, Ayton got that Kenner
It was that
syndrome.
damn.
and also
Big as hell. Think he's smaller.
just timely shots from Murray, timely shots from Caldwell Pope, timely shots from just all around the team, just elevating. They work as a unit, and versus the Suns, it's like you got the top 5, and then the talent just drastically drops off. like 6-man rotation at best. So yeah, that was that series. Going to the Lakers, this one I thought it was a toss up. I didn't really have a clear favorite in mind. It could have went either way, but down the stretch, the Warriors couldn't shoot well enough to keep up with the defense, the height, also the bench production from the Lakers. So you saw that, and that's why it went the way it was. Closed out in Game 6, and moving on to the East, I called this one out too. I really, honestly, with the 76ers in Boston, 76ers did better than I thought. They actually played way better than I thought they would. James Harden really stepped up. Embiid was out, what, 1 game, 2 games?
1 game. He was only out 1 game. He was only out game.
I
Game 1.
can't remember. Maybe one, like maybe game 2.
He was
Okay,
supposed to miss. You were really supposed to sit till Game 3, but that nigga came right.
Yeah, he missed game 1. You're right. He missed game 1.
Yeah, that boy Tobias Harris is dog water. They need to get rid of him next year. You keep him on the team, you're not going to the finals. You're not going to
They
the
chose him over Jimmy Butler.
You're not doing anything.
That huge contract.
They chose him over
that
Jimmy
huge
Butler.
Contract should be up by now, or only have a year left.
That boy
They can send him to Charlotte, because you know that Mikal Bridges is suspended for a minute, so just send him down there to Charlotte. Oh, he'll be back. Yeah. No, but I thought they said his suspension will roll over because of something he did now.
Not that big of a.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So just go ahead and send him down there.
Yeah,
Charlotte needs the help. Yeah, but I'm just saying.
Baggio, down the stretch, he is not him. And Boston Celtics, they just too young. They too deep. They got players everywhere. They got Jaylen Brown. Tatum didn't even show up like that.
This last game he did.
The last game, up until that point, he was kind of, he was in and out. But that last game he showed up, that just put him over the top, honestly. And then the Heat, I mean, man, the Heat, once they pretty much swept Milwaukee and got them out of the way, I have no faith in the Knicks. Like, good job, beating the Cavaliers, but I have no faith in the Knicks. I have no faith in Julius Randle. They point guard Bronson, like he's a stud. He's the real deal. But other than that, Jimmy Buckets and the crew, they gonna pull it out. So we got the Heat versus the Celtics. My prediction, just starting out before anybody else go. I'm gonna go Heat, man. I like the Heat over Boston, honestly. It's I could also be wrong because Boston they have a legit shot at beating the Heat, but I don't know. It's just when the Heat lock in, they playing with house money. They 8 seed, they ain't got nothing to lose, and that's scary. Anytime you're in that position,
you ain't got nobody doing the over 10 in the first half and shit. You ain't got nobody. What they got away with. You can't get away with that shit. What they did with Philadelphia losing at home. Think they could win on the road. It's tough. Remember, Philly won 2 in Boston. You know what I'm saying?
All right, let me
Still don't even. That's good. But
all right. You about to go, Rouse? You about to dissect? Do yours?
Rose, just give me my acknowledgement on. Give me my acknowledgement on the Nuggets.
You were right. Hey,
and the Boston.
Well, before then, can I go before Rose right instead?
Hey,
he called it.
You called it with them too, bro. And honestly,
can I go before Rose then? If we gonna go ahead and start acknowledging it? Can I go?
You said what? I'm gonna explain why them boys lost that shit too. Because last time we was on the phone, I couldn't get my words off. You know what I'm saying? Y'all was just want to put down my throat. I knew that.
Oh, you talking about the Nuggets thing?
Yeah, they want to put down my throat. So
brother, that was months.
No.
You ready?
Days ago.
Y'all still be going hard about the Nuggets, huh?
I'm gonna say why when it gets to my turn.
Okay.
Rose, go ahead.
Okay, actually, you know what? Since y'all two are about to go crazy about the Nuggets, let me get mine out real quick. So y'all two can go ahead. Me and Frank know how to get ours out. Y'all two gonna turn y'all's into a Nuggets war. Y'all about to be fighting for a 4-piece nugget. Y'all really about to fight over a 4-piece nugget at Wendy's. That's how hard y'all go about the Nuggets. All right. So Nuggets and the Suns. Nuggets and the Suns. Nuggets and the Suns, man.
Nugget.
Realistically, I knew the Nuggets were gonna win that.
He said he about
But
to
I
fight
wanted
for
the
a
Suns to
kid's
get that dub.
That's my toy.
No fries. No fries. No kids meal. No kids meal. No kids meal Cooley. Just the 4-piece nugget. The 99-cent 4-piece nugget. No sauce. No sauce either. None of the sauce. None of they done dropped it. They dropped the last sauce. They dropped the last sauce fighting over the nugget.
You gonna finish them?
Okay. The spicy.
Please give me some.
Oh my god.
It's
Yo.
okay. I'm good.
Oh
All
my
right, all
god.
right.
Okay. Let me. All right. So with the Nuggets, I had realistically, I knew the Nuggets were gonna win. All right, Kendall. Damn.
Shannon, mute yourself and go home about your day.
Go drink some water, bro.
Lord.
Go drink some water, bro. All right. Realistically, I had the Nuggets win it, but I wanted Phoenix to get it because I just really liked I wanted to see if KD could do it. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to see. But realistically, I knew the Nuggets were a better team. Once I saw Caldwell Pope was like contributing, I said, "Oh, they got a better bench." Yeah, they got it. Warriors and Lakers. Realistically, I had the Warriors. But hey, the Lakers proved me wrong, and that's what I wanted. I'm glad they did because I was just like, Lakers, please just don't mess it up. I was so nervous that when they came last night and I saw they was not last night, 2 nights ago, whatever nights, and they was up like 22, not points, but like it was like 22 to like 13. I was like, okay, I think they got it. They came in swinging. I was like, okay. Even when the Warriors came back a little bit, I wasn't too worried. So I was like, okay, they got it. So the rest of the game, I was very confident about it. So I'm glad they just didn't take the foot off the gas. And then when Reeves hit that halftime shot, it took me back to when Poole hit that halftime shot against Boston. And of course, he hit it kind of over Poole, which was kind of ironic, full circle type of moment. When he hit that halftime shot against Boston, they were only like, the series wasn't even over. It still could have gone either way. But just that momentum of that shot, man, had me like, yeah, I think the Warriors going to win the finals. So it's like those types of, that play right there that Austin Reeves had, I wouldn't say that it made me think the Lakers are going to win it all, but it made me say, okay, they're going to win win the series. They're not going to lose this game. Warriors aren't coming back. It's OV. 76ers and the Celtics. Oh, I was so disappointed, man. Realistically, I knew the Celtics were going to close it, especially a game 7 at home. And then even the last game, it was because of the last game. When Jason Tatum was trash all game and then hit those final shots toward the end to just kind of seal the deal, and the rest of the team helped them come back, but JT kind of finished off the game. I was like, oh man, damn Philly. I don't know if they're gonna win game 7. I was like, it might be over. But because there was a point where I was like, yeah, 76ers might close this out. If Embiid can do that again and Harden can do that again, they'll be good. They don't really need everybody else to ball out. They could do this just the two of them. They're that good. They're that dominant. Al Horford can't keep up. But yeah, things happen. Stop the cap. That's just how I saw it. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is, man. Honestly, that when I saw JT do that towards the end of the game, I saw a lot of growth in him because I was like, I don't think he was doing that last game. If he struggled the entire game. JT found a way to still contribute towards the end and make shots when they mattered most, which I'll do the I'll come back to that point later once I go to the predictions. But Heat and the Knicks, we all knew the Knicks was gonna choke. I wouldn't even say that the Heat were gonna win. I just knew that the Knicks were gonna choke. Julius Randle, RJ Barrett, come on, man. That you gotta break it up. It's OV. Yeah, I thought Obi Toppin was gonna be something. He's just a flashy dunker at this point. It's like, I don't know. Everyone now the offseason talk is gonna be, do you get him Cat? Do you get him Dame? I don't think either are gonna change anything. So that's that. So far, realistically, I could see it being Nuggets and Celtics. But what I want is Lakers versus the Heat, because that way it's an easier route for the Lakers. I don't know if the Lakers could beat the Celtics, but I think they could beat the Heat. But so just I just think they could. Because they said like, oh, the Heat got a bunch of undrafted guys. Lakers are gonna watch that. Lakers can watch some undrafted dudes. I think they can. They got that. But I don't know if they could beat the Celtics. It's like, ugh. So I want it to be for a Laker, not a Laker fan, but more for a LeBron fan standpoint. I want to see the Lakers play against the Heat because it'll be an easier matchup for them. But realistically, I have a feeling it might be Nuggets and Celtics, and I would see realistically, I could see JT the way going back to that point against that 76ers game, the way he did that, I said, okay, he played like he's not scared of the moment anymore. And being in that finals, I think me and Rouse talked about this yesterday. In the NFL, if you go to the bowl and lose, it's harder to come back. Like that's why Mahomes has been able to like repeat again because he instantly won his first time. Brady instantly won after his first time. Jalen Hurts, Joe Burrow, it's kind of harder. I think it's like I really want to say they'll both be back one day, but it's like I don't know because it's like things it's harder in the NFL. In the NBA, I see it a lot of times where a guy loses his first time and comes back with a different demeanor and ends up dominating. So I could see the Celtics winning it all this year just off of Jason Tatum's change in mentality. So that's me. We'll see.
Now, do you want to go
Okay.
ahead and go, or do you?
You know, it doesn't really matter which one you want to go first. I'll go first. It doesn't matter. All right. Okay then. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna do it a little bit different. I'm gonna start east to west. So first, I'm gonna start with
Go ahead, do you think?
the Heat and the Knicks. Julius Randle ain't that guy. He ain't never been that guy and never will be that guy. He's just a guy that happens to be consistently. Well, he's just a guy who could show up and not like he played majority of the whole entire season. I think he played 76 games this whole season. So that's good. But he's never going to be the main guy. He never was the main guy in LA, never was the main guy in New Orleans, and he ain't going to be the main guy in New York or wherever team he going to next after this. That was Jalen Brunson's team. Yeah, he played for them for a little bit.
He played for New Orleans?
I think he only played there for like a year. But with that being said, this is Jalen Brunson's team, and they were gonna go as far as Jalen Brunson could take them. This is when I knew, for anybody who don't know me, I don't do predictions on teams or games because whatever I say is usually gonna be the opposite of who wins. That's kind of how it always works for me. I don't know why I'm a bad luck. Yeah,
That's why I say realistically and what I want. I do different. Like I said, I knew the Warriors were going to beat the Kings, but I wanted the Kings to win.
but
You know,
I would say
so I get what you're
the
saying.
Knicks. This is when the indicator I knew the Knicks wasn't gonna win was when Jimmy Butler missed one game and they barely beat the Heat, and I mean barely beat them. And I was like, okay, they're not gonna win the series if they couldn't beat a Jimmyless team. And now I just want y'all to remember now the Heat is without Tyler Hero, who's the second. I want to say he's the second leading scorer on the Heat, and they're missing Victor Oladipo, who was the sixth man of the Heat. So you're missing two key players of the Heat, and they're still rocking.
Damn.
No, he's done for the
Not
season.
to cut you off, but is there any
I
chance that
can't
he's
remember what
coming
it
back?
was. It's not
Victor?
an ACL or anything. It's just something in his knee.
Oh man,
I want to say it's the
sucks.
other knee this time. I think he was out before with his right knee. I think it's his left knee this time.
Oh, okay.
So that's what made me go, wow. If you can't beat them without a Jimmy's team that's depending heavily on Jimmy, oh, you ain't about to beat them in the series when Jimmy comes back. And then also, I think that was game 2 that they played on that Tuesday, and they didn't play game 3 all the way till Saturday. So you literally gave him a whole week. And the game 1 was on that Sunday. So you gave him a whole entire week off to heal an ankle injury. Oh, when he was gonna play, they was gonna play. And the only reason that they won one more game is because literally Jalen Brunson played 48 minutes. He played the whole game. He never came out the game. So I knew after a while that tire was gonna run flat, and that was gonna be it, and never done. So I expected the Heat to beat the Knicks anyways because Jimmy Butler has been on fire. 76ers and Celtics. To me, I never really liked the Celtics. Not Celtics. The 76ers gameplay because they literally just do a lot of individual team play of Joel Embiid and James Harden. And they're kind of incorporating Maxey kind of has to force his way into the offense. Like literally, he has to. Like sometimes it's like he brings the ball down the court. He's like, "Man, bump this. I'm not about to give them the ball. I'm gonna just drive." And that's good because he could do that. He could literally score in bunches. But yeah, I didn't see the Sixers beating the Celtics. I saw them at least going. I saw them going to the 7, but the way they got there to the 7 was kind of like, kind of iffy. I think we talked. I think we talked about this in the group chat when I was like, okay, James Harden showed up game 1. Is he gonna be able to consistently do this? Because if he consistently could do this, the 76ers was gonna have a chance to win. But he didn't do it consistently, and it was the fact that game 6, Jason Tatum was shooting horribly until that fourth quarter. Any basketball player or anybody that played basketball and watched basketball knows that's the worst time for you to allow him to get hot was that fourth quarter because that was going to carry over into the next game. It's okay for him to be on fire the first 3 quarters, but if he got a cold hand in the fourth quarter, it's like, okay, he probably might gonna be starting off the game 7, okay? But he was hot closing out in the game 6, and guess what? He was still blazing hot when he came in game 7. And that's how they end up with that result. And it kind of comes back to Kenneth's statement earlier. 76ers didn't show no heart. They stayed in the game. They literally played into the game of we just gonna keep up with them. As long as we could keep up with them, we're doing good. They never played to win. They played not to lose. That's why they end up losing. So, and I'm happy that the Celtics won because they were the better team anyway, and they had a better. Doc, I just want to go ahead and start that conversation. I've been saying it for years now. Doc Rivers is overrated as a coach. He is highly overrated. We're literally living off of him, off that one ring he won with the Celtics. Like, he is garbage. He's always been a garbage coach to me. And that's just what it is. So, yeah, Celtics won, and Celtics and Heat, that's going to be a great series, a great back-and-forth series. Can they stop Jimmy Butler in the Heat? Yes. But, man, Jimmy Butler going to make it hard for him, though. So I could probably see that game. I could see that series at least going to 6. I don't see the Celtics sweeping them.
I think it's dangerous. I think they're dangerous. If the Heat can get the Boston Celtics on the ropes,
yeah,
like,
well, they're gonna put them away.
They're gonna put them away because once Jimmy Butler got blood in the water, it's over with.
Oh, it's over with.
They went to 7 last year,
didn't
right?
make it to the conference finals last year. I don't think so.
Yes, he did. That shot.
No.
No.
No,
the Heat did make it last year against the Celtics.
Oh, it is.
It's a rematch.
It is.
Last year's
conference
finals. Yes, it is.
Thank you.
My bad.
I totally forgot. I did.
Yeah.
That was me.
Yeah, he went for the 3 when that, and not everybody, but some people were like, you're gonna make the 2. It was a good shot.
That was my whole argument last year. Like, this is his team. He has to take that shot. So yeah.
It's just people love it when you don't do it. When you make it,
it's full shot all over again. But
it's the pool shot all over again.
The Warriors and Lakers. Kenneth gonna say over and over I'm a Warriors fan, but I just love basketball. So I love basketball. I guess I'm a Warriors fan.
You can put me on that side too. I wouldn't say you're a fan, but you definitely heavily admire. But you were also just out there and went to the games.
The ball around. They always had like good ball movement. Every time the Warriors win games, they have good. Like, I'm like, man, these boys.
You like to watch them play.
That's the reason why Kevin Durant. That's why Kevin Durant went there.
That's how it was with the Ravens. I went to I went to see Lamar play against the Rams, his MVP year, since I was out west.
Yeah.
And I'm not a Ravens fan. I just admired the way
Like
Lamar
I
played,
admire
and I
the
wanted to
Warriors
see the future MVP
gameplay, bro.
play. So I was like, okay, you know,
I like
if he ever
how,
plays here in
and I
Detroit,
say
I'll
the same
probably
thing
try to
about
get to
the
that game.
Spurs. Like they literally have a good gameplay. I'm a huge fan of gameplay. Like I love styles of play as a game. I just don't like the ISO ball. That's
Mm-hmm.
the only style of play I don't like is ISO ball. And that's why it was the series before the Sacramento Kings and Warriors. I was really in a toss up because I love Sacramento is my West team. I love the Sacramento Kings. I would say that is my Western favorite team because I'm like, man, I've been rocking with them when they was. I would say after they got rid of DeMarcus, I was like, man, these boys coming. I kept saying, I was like, they're coming, they're coming. All they need is a few pieces, they're coming. So the Warriors only beat, but to get back to all this, the Warriors only beat the Kings because they had experience. They got by because they had experience and the fact that Steph Curry was literally carrying that team. And I mean, he gave all he could give to get them there, to get them into the second round. But the problem was when you give all you could give, he gave all you could give in the first round, meaning he wasn't going to be able to give you all he could give in the second round. And it showed and the Lakers took advantage of it too, because the Lakers have a more defensive team and a longer team and a younger team than the Warriors. And the Warriors bench has been awful. Absolutely awful. This whole entire playoffs, they was awful. The only reason they won games was because of the Steph Curry and you literally had flashes of explosions from the bench of the Warriors, but majority of the time it was always Steph Curry on the Warriors winning these games. So for the Lakers, on the flip side of it, the only reason they win games is because of their bench. And when AD is being AD, like the best, like the top 75 player that we know he could be. That's the only time when the Lakers are winning games. Like LeBron James is good, but LeBron James, you know what you're going to get from LeBron James. You're going to get 20 to 30 points from LeBron James. In this stage of his career, that's what you know you're going to get. It's rare when you're going to get like a 40 or 50 point game from LeBron. It's really rare. Now in this stage of his career with all the injuries and everything. So that's why I say, like from my statement earlier, LeBron is being carried this playoffs because the games that they win is the games that you see AD going off. When you see somebody from the bench is going off. Because that's what LeBron's need. He's gonna give you what you get, your 20 to 30 points. But he's gonna need that help. He needs that chunk that's gonna keep him afloat, keep the Lakers afloat. And that's what they've been doing this playoffs is keeping them afloat. The times that they lose, the bench doesn't show up or either AD doesn't show up. And guess what? So far, they've been so good. They've been good enough to get to the conference finals. And that's a great thing about it. So the Lakers, I expected them to win and beat the Warriors because the Warriors got the same team from last year, but it's not the same team from last year. It might be the same people, but it ain't the same play style and the same it doesn't look like the Warriors out there. It really didn't look like the Warriors. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It did to me. I
The
just think the
shots
shots
that they
just
were
weren't
taking
hitting.
were Warrior shots, but they were like, man, those were a lot of forced shots. The Warriors get a lot of shots that are always in rhythm. That's the thing. The shots that they usually get are like, okay, he's coming off the screen. It's a good flow shot. That's okay. That's good Warrior shots. Some of the shots they were taking were like, man, why is Clay thinking about the shot? Usually he just shoot the ball and that's just it. And then when he does just shoot the ball, the times that he were shooting it, they were just horrible shots and horrible timing. And I was like, that's why I was like, majority of the time I was like, man, I think me and Kenneth talked, I want to say game 6, when he was like, are you watching this Warriors game? And I was like, no, because I turned the game off after 5 minutes of the game started because I think the first 4 or 5 shots, AD and LeBron posted up and scored. And I was like, yep, this is how this game is going to go, and the Warriors are not going to win. Instantly. I already knew it because I was like, they're not going to win this game. So yeah, I expect the Lakers to beat the Warriors anyway. To get to 6, that's good. I expected a 6 or 7. It's going to be a 6 or 7 kind of game because, AD is a roller coaster. He's up and down. Denver and Phoenix. Man, I kind of already assumed. I assumed Denver was going to beat the Suns. With the Suns, they're good, but like Frank said, they were only a six-man rotation. They traded away their whole bench just to get KD. And when you trade away your bench just to get one person, it kind of puts a hindrance on you. And the Nuggets have a team. They have a team. And I mean from 1 to 10, they have a team that could defend, that could score. They play as a team unit. This is a team that's been together for I want to say more than a year. So they got some chemistry there. And they're playing against the Phoenix Suns, who literally just got together halfway through the season. And I think KD only played 8 games under. Oh yeah, just to get that in there, Monty Williams just got fired from the Suns. Literally, KD only been there he only played 8 games under Monty.
Oh wow,
the whole entire time. So it's like, yo,
ooh. So they're really making it KD's team, because now they're going to try to probably bring in
I
somebody.
ain't gonna hold. I think they're gonna try and keep DeAndre Ayton. That's what it sounds like.
Is that why, Rouse, you were talking about Steve Kerr earlier? You were trying to bring that in, and I was like, we'll see if we have time. Is that why you were saying Kerr? Okay. Because he's really he's been the only coach that's gotten him a ring. Outside of that, no other coaches really. You could say maybe Billy Donovan, but he's not in that.
It's not really even about KD,
he does
because Steve Kerr used to work for the damn Suns.
No, Steve Kerr ain't getting fired.
Well, I think it is about KD, because you don't fire Monty
the only
Williams.
reason they fired Monty Williams is because they lost
like, you know
back
what,
years, 30 points in elimination.
Oh, okay.
That's why I said.
I thought they fired him because they were like, he's not going to mesh with KD
from the 76ers. Okay. Because the past 3, they've literally lost the past 3 game 7s.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We
all thought it was going to happen last year. And then the Clippers thing, like, you know, even with the Clippers, he was fired almost immediately after their elimination. I can't remember who they got eliminated.
That might have been his last game.
I think it might have been the Warriors. I can't remember. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think he has a good shot at a contender, because let's be honest, when he left the Clippers, he got a good shot going to the 76ers.
He had a good shot when he left the Celtics.
He was set with a decent team. He was given a lot.
After the Celtics, they traded him. He's the only. I want to say.
Where did he go? The Clippers, right after that, right? Okay, yeah. So it's like now it's like I don't know if there's any good team that he could go straight to.
Possibly Milwaukee,
because I just don't think any team's going to take that anymore. And it's like I don't think he wants to go develop somewhere.
But that'd be a waste of time, because Doc Rivers is trash. So that's just my opinion. He's not a good coach to me. Like, his time, the way he coaches is not the way of winning team. Now, the way it worked in Celtics in Boston, but that's only because he had Ray Allen, Paul Pierce, and Kevin Garnett. He makes none.
He literally makes no.
All he does is, come on, guys, you bring energy. You can't just let them outplay you. Come on, you gotta bring some intensity.
Intensity. Yes, y'all saw that video I sent in the chat. What he said, your voice sound ashy. You need to drink some lotion.
Doing nothing with that. But yeah, the Nuggets, they have a team, and they was way better than the Suns. Like, they just were. And the fact that the only reason Suns won games were when they had those 50-point explosions from Kevin Durant and Devin Booker. And I was like, yo, that's not gonna win you a lot of games, because that's gonna end up running out. You can't do that every single game. And the fact that they lost Chris Paul was, I would say, Chris Paul getting injured was the best thing for the Phoenix Suns, because Chris Paul slows down the game for them. You have to think, you have a young team that's being led by an old person. So it's like, yo, the rest of the team want to run, but Chris Paul wanted to walk it down. That doesn't help anything.
Yeah, it's best to have that old person kind of be on the bench, kind of like the Miami Heat, kind of like the Warriors. You want that veteran or PJ Tucker with like minimal minutes, or like just one role, not the role. You know what I'm saying?
Like
Not the guy. You want him to have a
fit for the
role,
Suns would
or
be
you
like
want
Shea
him to just be
Gilgeous,
energy on the bench.
or like
You don't want
De'Aaron,
him to be
like a good
that.
young point guard who can get the ball up court and actually command the team, like get them going, not walk the ball. You don't want a Kyle Lowry as your starter controlling the tempo of the game, because then it's like, yo, how, like, your team wants to run, but you want to walk up and do offensive sets, like half court sets, and it's like, yo, that's why Ayton was so good. Ayton was only good under Chris Paul wise because that's when he can make his money doing post ups and doing all that. But when you have teams where like Kevin Durant and Devin Booker bringing the ball up the court, they're running and they're going to score. Like Ayton, you have to get your big ass up the court. You have to get in position. You have to move.
My boy Booker said, "Do you want to
He
win
do got
or not?"
he do got to move when it's but but this yeah he did say that shit too because DAA that nigga didn't do
Because guess
shit at
what?
all. He was a NA this entire season.
How
No,
about we? He didn't do enough shit to the point where we don't
no,
even need to give him an
he
abbreviation
was
route.
Yeah,
So
he's
let's not
DeAndre.
even give him that.
He's DeAndre.
Let's not even
He
give
don't
him the
need no
title of DA.
nickname.
Let's not. He doesn't even
real
deserve that.
don't
He don't need
don't at
no
all. He
abbreviation.
don't at all, bro. Like the fact
You're
is,
good. You're good.
All right, y'all hold it down.
I
I'm
only
about to
say
go.
this
I'm about to pee real
because
quick. Y'all hold it down.
yeah, to me, DeAndre Ayton was getting his ass. He was already getting his ass whooped on defense by Jokic, and then he comes down the court and he's huffing and fucking puffing because he already getting his ass whooped on defense. You got to rush all the way down the court for offense. He's not set for that. He ain't built for that, to be running and gunning up and down the court, and that's why he looked like ass. And that's what it is, because he doesn't fit that offense of a run and gun offense. That's why he likes Chris Paul being there. That's
And
why he
that
likes
comes
Jay
from
Crowder.
signing or trading for KD and just hoping and wishing that it's gonna work.
Yeah,
Just throwing things
and
together and hope it sticks.
shout out to the backup of the Phoenix Suns, the white guy. I want to say Latnier or something like that. He was he was
he was
he was
great. He
playing his
was great.
ass off
Even though he
because
got
he's a
cooked,
run and gun
he
center.
played his ass off.
All he just needs is a little bit more skills and weight, and he'd be literally one of the best centers because he runs. He has, like, we want Ayton to be like Robert Williams. If he could be like Robert Williams, he would be a great center. But he's not like Robert Williams. He doesn't run. He doesn't, like, he's getting his ass whipped on defense. Getting huffing and puffing and his ass whipped on offense. So he's just out there in the way, doing nothing. He's clogging up the lane now. Guess what? The Suns wasn't going to go as far with Ayton sitting down there and without no bench and going with a 6-man rotation. That you wasn't going anywhere with that. And Denver Nuggets, we talked about, this is where the conversation we talked about months ago, when I was like, this, because first it started with who has more pressure, and then we started talking about the Nuggets, and I said the Nuggets have a deep enough team to make a run to the finals. They could get to the finals. Could they win it? Yeah, they could win it. But would it surprise me if they don't win it? No. Would it surprise me if they do win it? No. Because they have a good enough team to at least get to the finals. So that's why I was like, hey, that was my only argument months ago. They have a deep enough team to make it to the finals. And Kenneth, you kept saying, who they got? Who they got? All they got is Jokic and Jamal Murray if he show up. And I'm like, yo, they have a team. Caldwell Pope, Michael Porter Jr., Aaron Gordon, like naming all these people off the roster. And you're like, who are these? They ain't gonna do nothing with them. I'm like, yo, that is a team they put in that work as a team, as a unit. They showed up. They've been showing up in the playoffs. Jamal Murray ain't the Bubble Murray, because the bubble was the purest form of basketball you ever seen. That was the purest form of basketball. No distractions, no out, like there was
No traveling.
no travel. There was no home court
No
advantage.
home court
It was the
advantage.
purest form of
No
basketball.
home court advantage.
That's like,
like you said, no
yep,
travel, none.
possible. Yep.
And now we get a rematch of both to see who's really about it.
And
no, not possibly. It is.
That's what I like. That's why I was like, the bubble
on both
purest
East and
form.
West.
That's like when we used to, as kids, when we used to get up out our house and go play at Forsyth. There was no home court advantage. You wasn't tired because you walked 10 minutes to get to the park. That was right there. You just balled. If you had a good game, you had a good game. If you had a bad game, you had a bad game. And that's what the bubble was. Jamal Murray, guess what? He was having good games because guess what? You got to walk from the hotel there, warm up. You just playing. Ain't no crowd interruptions. Ain't no only people there is your family. Some if your family came. So I expect him to do his average of the 30, his 20 to 30 points, which he has been doing. And that's all he needs to do. Jokic, he doesn't need to do a triple double every game. But he does. And it's a light triple double too. It's something real light, like 25, 9, and 8 and 4 blocks. And you're like, man, you look at that stat line, you're like, damn, that's a pretty good stat line. And he gets it so quietly and so effortlessly. Because he doesn't need to do a 30-point, 40-point game every game. He does that only if he really has to. And he's shown he could do it when he has to. He could do it whenever the fuck he wants to, actually. And he's shown that. But he plays within his team.
He showed that against a team that had two centers that was two complete dumbasses in the Timberwolves. He did that against.
Go ahead.
Okay. Well, Rouse, go ahead, Rouse. Go ahead and start yours. Start with the Nuggets and Suns. Break it down for us, then, and go ahead and finish the rest of your.
This whole
reactions.
thing where y'all saying like Chris Paul was just a non-factor. Game 2 before he went down in Denver, y'all do realize them boys were up 3 in Denver. They lost that game when Chris Paul went out. Y'all do realize that, right? The 2 games they won at home, yes, it was a fast pace. And yes, when you watch the game, Devin Booker had a great game. He scored damn near 38, had 12 assists. When you watch those games and how they got those shots, every shot they got, they worked for it. There was no easy shot maker. There was no easy layers to the bucket. There was no easy. Just like you said, DA couldn't get nothing because he was just strictly just doing his thing. Whatever.
Boy, if you do not stop abbreviating this man's name.
Yeah, my bad. Yeah, I can't say the man's name because he played like straight garbage. That's how I look at it, man. DA man calling district attorney like that. Lock him up. Lock him up. Don't let it switch him out. He's not saying he should not be in Phoenix. That's how I feel about DeAndre.
Send him back to the Bahamas.
At this point, bro, that effort that he showed out there for them boys, not just in the playoffs. Go into the playoffs. Go into February. Go into January. Look at his body language. Yeah, he might put up 18 and 10, but it was the softest, weakest, nonchalant 18 and 10 you will ever see. Damn near, bro. Like, the shit that they were going through, putting up the sets and shit, you're absolutely right. It's easy to defend the offense when it's just 2 players. It's easy as hell when you got to worry about, KD will double him, so we don't want him to drop 40, even though he's not afraid to do that shit. But that's a conversation for another day. We can let D-Book give her 40. As long as we don't let him give her 30, shit, that's 70 points we ain't really worrying about. 54, we can live with that. We can just play basketball. Just like you said, because they are the better team. Chris Paul go down, the whole offensive set that you say that hampered them, they needed that. So that go out, every single how when you're getting blown out. Why are you still running up and down the court? Why are you still shooting up threes? Why are you still 5.3?
Whoa! But Rouse, I thought you said like you want to see that happen out of a guy.
I said I want to be able to see an offense where D-Book doesn't have to come up and be the point guard while being him.
They need a younger point guard. They need a younger
Brogdon. They need to go
they
get
need a younger
Brogdon.
point guard.
He's tied in with Boston.
It helps him.
Oh, shit, that's some super shit right there. If Michael Brown could go with them boys, but honestly and truthfully, knowing them, they ain't about to do that shit, bro. And that same thing that we were saying that Devin Booker Phoenix Suns team would actually look like damn, I could go there and win the ring. I don't really think that we're gonna see anybody really trying to go over there to Phoenix over there in the offseason with all these question marks and shit. When you really look at it, I mean, they literally fired one of the nicest men in head coaches in the whole fucking league. Lonnie Williams.
The writing was on the wall though. The writing was
firing Pete Carroll from the Seahawks. It was on the wall, but
when you have 2 years back to back in
don't know
game
about the
7
Pete Carroll comparison.
I think that's what makes it worse. At home. No, sorry, not at home. It wasn't at home. But
well, that is kind of some Pete Carroll shit.
You have to show up like with urgency. You have to. But to get blown out by 30, both games.
The Luka Doncic one was worse this list because Luka had 30 by himself and outscored the whole thing. This one was bad, but really, it was predictable because everyone already knows Denver had the better team. Then they sent Mikal Bridges on the board for Kevin Durant. Greater player that shit was.
I
They,
I
like you
about to
said,
say, I
injuries was
talked
gonna
to
be
you
their
that
downfall.
same
Just
day
like
when they
it happened,
traded him.
campaign
When they
gave them
traded him,
buckets, but
I talked to you
compared to
that
the
same day,
offense, it
didn't I?
hurt. They were hurt.
I said once they traded away, I was like,
Yeah,
man,
we talked about that
Phoenix
shit.
Suns have a great team on paper, but too bad that his team is built like paper because they all saw they always gonna get hurt. And guess
Nah,
what?
for real.
Literally, once they got KD,
For real.
they was all just falling. They literally it was all falling. Aiton was hurt. Then I know Chris Paul was hurt. Then KD, he's slipping. He out for 7 games now. And I'm like, damn. Devin Book out. I'm like, damn. Are they even gonna make it to the playoffs? They, of course, they had a good record, but I'm talking about playing wise. Are they even gonna make it there? And I'm like, yo, it was just like it was too much. It was too many variables on that team. And Monty Williams, even though how nice he was, he was put in a tough position. He was put in a tough position because the way everyone portrayed them as the guarantee to win. Now that they had Kevin Durant,
Yeah, I wasn't with that.
Not this season. I wasn't guaranteeing a win this season. I think they needed a
The
full
only thing I was
season
saying would be nice to see an over
first.
my dead body game where you've seen a 35-point plus performance where this nigga said, nah, fuck that. No, we're not going. Even if it's a losing performance where you've seen that, like Brooklyn versus Milwaukee. Where it was like, damn, Fulham would have finished his career. Well, shit, that was an over my dead body game where it was like, damn, nigga, this is my career. I don't care about none of this
side
shit.
question.
Tonight, you gotta worry about me. You don't see that. You don't see that, Kobe.
I think before you ask your question, Najee, I think that when it comes to like big mid-season trades, you can't. I don't even in American football, whatever sport, I don't see big stars getting traded instantly getting the ring that first year. It's when you make small trades like the Lakers. They made a small trade. They small additions, I'd say, because a key departure was Russell, but bringing in smaller roles that can help you get to where you need to be for kind of like how my Eagles have brought in Hassan Reddick on the defensive line. He helped the defensive line kind of boost up that was already decent. So it's like when you bring in like small pieces, that can help you get there for the rest of the year. But when you bring in a big piece like Kevin Durant, you can't. It's not going to work the same because now you're changing everything for that person. So things are going to change.
Would y'all
So
rather have Monty get fired
yeah.
at the end of this season, or the Suns get off to a bad start next season and he gets fired midway?
Now, I'd rather have you now. So now you can go because now if you fired Monty now, it gives you an opportunity to get somebody you truly want. But if you do it mid-season, it's going to be an interim situation. Like with Ime Udoka, if that situation happened
Yeah, in the
earlier,
off-season type
I mean
shit.
later, like towards
Especially in
that
the
happened
Started
before
doing
the
that the
season, right?
beginning
Yeah,
of the season.
it happened like in August, September-ish, like a month or two.
Yeah, like if
Okay, yeah,
I'm
very
saying,
very early. But you saying
yeah,
midway,
would
so
you rather
midway would be
have him
like
fire him now or
January-ish,
like
all
get the
stars.
All-Star season and they're like the I don't know. No, they're at the bottom. Like they're maybe the
Seventh
third worst
or
team
ninth or like
in the West.
bottom. Okay, okay, yeah. No, I'd rather have you fire him now. If you know this is not the direction you want to go, if you know it, like if it's not something you know, like who was the guy with Cleveland when LeBron came
Come
back
on,
to
David
Cleveland
Blatt.
and they went to the finals and lost to the
Yeah,
Warriors,
that's
but then
Blatt.
like mid-season of the next year,
My bad.
yes, Rouse, damn, got a name drop so hard. All right, you know the guy I'm talking about, but the dude, and they fired him mid-season and then Tyler Lue take over. But they had somebody that kind of already wanted anyway. Most likely that's the situation. But if you're the Suns and you're like, we don't have Monty's replacement already on the staff, so let's not do it. let's do it where now we can get somebody new in. You know what I mean? Because once the season starts, it's hard to get somebody.
Yeah, right.
You know, so I think me personally, I would say that.
Bill.
I would say do it in the off season.
That man put heart and soul into this shit. Right back to the finals.
We'd have to see.
Wait, who's up
when
for
is he up for
contract?
contract?
He booked. Like 2 years ago.
Devin Booker just signed us. He just signed.
He said Devin Booker. You said I don't know if Devin Booker wants to come back.
Sure.
Yeah, I think he's staying. I think he's gonna
say either
stay.
this year
I
or
think
last
players
or the
like
year before
him,
last.
Jason
He literally
Tatum,
I know he
Giannis,
just
they're
signed.
staying with their teams. I'm gonna be honest with you. Steph Curry kind of brought that era of stay with your team. Kobe really had it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, like KD and LeBron are a different era, so they kind of team top. They're kind of the same. They're kind of the same as Chris Paul as well. Carmelo, team hop, do what you got to do. That era, but these
Hold on,
younger
I'm about
dudes
to
are
say-
following
down till
Steph's
you come
route
up.
of let's stay with my team and see
I'll say
and
Chris
trust my
Paul is
organization
different.
if they're the right.
Not Chris Paul. You can leave Chris Paul out there
Exactly.
because he's been traded. He's been traded around.
Yeah, traded, but so I'm gonna be honest with you. You kind of know when you're at that
say
level.
he
you have
forced
those
his way out of
discussions
New
prior.
Orleans.
And then it's up to you whether or not you want to vocalize.
But that was just because him and
Exactly. You can talk
him and the
that talk.
ownership
You
were
can
not.
you can
They
get
were
that
not.
moving
But like
if you have the clearance.
he wanted to stay, but they weren't. They were ready to move on from him. So it was kind of like, all right, then fuck it. I want to go to LA to the Lakers, and then David Stern canceled that shit, and then they was like, okay, you going to LA, but the Clippers.
No, he didn't sign the extension, y'all boy. Next offseason, looking to hey.
Yeah.
They hit you with the
Check this
Paul
out real quick on
George.
the
So
deep.
really, Paul
My
George got hit with the
apologies
Chris
for
Paul.
interrupting, but hey, he's a free agent after next year, 2024. Look, he's a free agent next
You're
year.
good, bro. You're good.
2024.
Yeah.
Who
2024, he's unrestricted.
after next year?
And
He's probably gonna stay.
Also, maybe a trade could.
He's
Ooh,
staying.
excuse me. A trade could happen, so he doesn't.
He's
What's it
kind of
called?
in that. He's in that situation of like Damian Lillard.
Yeah, I want to see.
Where like
Yeah,
he could have been.
They would
left
have to
Phoenix.
be trash.
I mean, been left because they was dog shit for a long
Yeah.
time before they started winning. Now,
Whoa.
Monty Williams brought a winning culture back to
That's
Phoenix.
facts.
Well, he brought a winning culture to Phoenix, and that's the only. And now you got to see what coach they get.
Well,
They already talking about dang, who did I see? I saw that the Bucks did interview Mark Jackson for a coach.
Steve.
I did see that though.
I would have liked if Ime didn't go to Houston. I would have liked Ime over there.
I kind of like Mark Jackson or Giannis. So
do you guys want to get into John? Because I know Rouse, you didn't finish doing the rest. So do you want to go through the rest of the series real quick? Damn, Rouse. I was saying, do you want to do the rest of your series? Do you want to do the rest of your series real quick, and then we can get into the job
real
thing?
Simple, real easy. This year is the validation year of the.
All right, go ahead, because you already kind of just did the Nuggets and the Suns. So go ahead and do the other three.
I feel like this year is the validation year, the play-in, bubble, all this shit. Basically, all that was saying it was the asterisk in the bubble championship. You got to wipe that shit away. We got the same team from back there in the same conference finals. So all that shit about it don't count, no thing, that shit counts. And my favorite, I would love to see Miami and LA. That's what I'm going for. Miami is a better team than Boston in the way that we can play them in the perfect game. I like them over.
Who are you rolling with that? Pause, Rouse. Pause. First of all, you need to turn your volume up. You must not hear us.
Yeah, up.
Turn your volume up. You don't hear me.
What's
Pause. I gotta ask you a quick question. As a Heat fan and a LeBron fan, who do you roll with?
Yes, I'm going with LeBron for the fifth. I'm going with LeBron.
Did you hear me?
It'd be nice for us to get to another final. I like it. I'm cool with it.
Boy,
even if I lose,
man, this brother
like it don't even matter.
As much as I love Lamar Jackson.
You and the Eagles with Super Bowl.
What?
As
Hold up.
much as I love
What?
Lamar Jackson,
Hold
no. Exactly.
on.
That's exactly where I
Hold
was
up.
headed with that. As
Hold
much
up.
as I
Let
love
me
Lamar, I would
pause.
never
Pause.
pull for
Pause.
him
Pause.
against my
What
Eagles.
did
Kenneth, you are a disgusting fan.
dang?
I am ashamed.
What did that guy say? From Virginia. What did? These hoes ain't loyal. Yeah.
Virginia,
There,
like, oh,
there it is.
yes.
That
I was about
these
to do a loyalty joke about
Kenneth
him, but I was
has
like, I don't want to do
Kenneth
him
has
like
had
that.
10 toes down on different teams every single time we've talked.
And every time they lose,
See, no, not with basketball. With basketball, he does stay loyal to those two. He does stay loyal to the Heat and LeBron. I'll give him that. But I'm saying when
I'm
that
talking
matchup
about
occurs,
basketball.
because he said he
Early
likes that matchup for it.
before Chris
So I'm
Paul went
like,
down, he was on the Suns train.
no, he don't switch up on them two. He just stays with those two.
No, I
he,
get
he
shit
definitely
flipped because when
he
Chris
definitely was
Paul,
rocking with the
I
Suns
don't know
before
about that
Chris
one.
Paul
I
went
don't know
bust.
about that one.
He stayed in the
I don't
background when
remember
Chris
hearing
Paul
that.
went
well, yeah. Like, no, I was watching him before he went down.
So you just
It's
proved my
gonna go
point
fast.
right.
That's why I feel and I say if we're gonna get this shit, hey, he's gonna go. But it didn't happen because guess what? What I told you about KD not being able to give
My
us the performance that you
Kenneth,
could
my
see again.
statement
So
was
he's
you
an
were
efficient
rocking with the
scorer.
Suns before
He's a
Chris
great
Paul went
scorer.
down,
And he's not
and then you
being able
go,
to
you
get
flipped that shit. I was rocking with the Suns before Chris Paul went down.
no, they weren't my favorite. They weren't my favorite against the West. So I said they were gonna beat the Nuggets. I picked them to win the series. They didn't. They
This
didn't.
man,
Chris Paul went down. They did though. I thought they could try to overcome it to push the seven. Like really, like, it was not. It was really predictable as hell. And I said that going in. This is what needs for them to be able to produce because if they could put up the points that they were doing 30 and 30
with
and give
Chris
you
Paul,
15,
without Chris Paul, in
then the
six,
third.
nigga. Six. Stop it.
Yeah, it was six. And then what I told you about the Heat and the Knicks. What I told you about the Lakers and the Warriors. Nigga, it's true. It's
Okay.
so
Go ahead.
that's
Finish your East. Now you done broke down the
I just
West.
want to know. Because like
Ain't
right
no
nobody
now,
one
looked
looked
at you
at you
crazy.
crazy.
it's going 7. Warriors coming
What? Lakers in 6 for what?
back.
Look at you crazy for what? Lakers in what? 6 against who?
When I
I
say
had,
Lakers against the Warriors,
honestly,
crazy. Like, nah, it ain't going up.
I didn't say I looked at you crazy. I wouldn't say I looked at you crazy. I agreed, but I said realistically, I have a
Yeah, and
nah.
you
feeling
had
that the
like
Warriors are going to
that's
do
how I
because
was.
it's the
I was like,
Warriors.
it's
It's
the
like betting
Warriors.
I
against
thought
So
the
Brady.
it's a
You
Golden
just don't
State
want to
possibility
Warriors
do
they
it
gonna
can
lose.
sometimes.
win,
You just
but
don't want
it's a
like you
real
just
low
don't want to
possibility
do
that.
it.
But it's still that 1% chance that they could win.
Yeah, I get that point. You can't
Yeah, it ain't
discount it,
that. It
but
ain't a one. It's a lot bigger than one. Like
now all I was
that's why
saying was
Frank
this:
said that
like, I know
series
you
was up
can't
in the
count the
air because
Warriors
it
out.
really was.
When we saw your boy Moody,
You can't bet against Brady.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you can't count them out, but they literally
I
have a
really
worse
had the
record
Warriors
this
losing
year
the.
than the Detroit Pistons.
Yeah, but I was saying I was just
Literally.
saying that in an aspect of I wasn't looking at you crazy.
Yeah, nobody looked at
I
you
wasn't
crazy.
saying
I
that I
had
was
the
looking at
Warriors
you
losing
crazy.
against the
We
Kings.
agreed with you. Nobody looked at
I
you
only
crazy about the
look at you
Lakers
crazy
winning.
because you
We
hop
just
between
were
teams.
like we
One
were
minute
just also we
he
agreed.
literally said Miami, Philly, LA, Denver.
I don't think he
That's
does,
what
man. I
that's
don't think he hops between teams. I just think I don't think he hops between teams.
Bro,
I think
I told you
he has
day
mixed loyalties when it comes to his team and LeBron.
I told you since day one. I've grown up on the Spurs and Celtics. When it comes to the game, I have favorite players and the teams I rock. I picked the Heat because I was my team, right? That's what for me.
Old ass team.
That's just me. So when I look at it and say, hey, I'm still rocking with the Heat. Yeah, that's my
I
team. When I look
respect
at it,
it.
I'm saying my players are going to go. Yeah, I love them. I love them. I do. When I see you say so the love and
who
this that
so who was
to
your Lakers?
LeBron,
He
What was your
rocking with
finals
it's
pick?
like
LeBron, but he rocking with the Heat.
Frank.
Got the Lakers in the
You know
finals.
You know the
Kenneth, what was your finals
you
pick?
know, yeah, I'm rocking with them, bro. And my final pick, doing
Who was your finals
but I
pick,
ain't
Kenneth?
really had Boston and Philly. I had Boston and Philly. I had the Lakers in, And I
Okay.
had Philadelphia because I said this was their year. I said
So
they
you
lose
thought
this
that
year
boy
against Boston.
Tobias and Max
Because
was
like
gonna beat
whoever was
him?
taking Milwaukee, I thought Milwaukee was going to walk right through the Eastern Conference Finals. But when Miami snapped and flipped it, I looked at the road and said, "Oh, they're going to beat the Knicks in 5."
Your prediction
I was
was
predicting.
your prediction in the conference finals.
But they hit
Your
it.
prediction in the conference finals
Then
was
the Bucks played back.
Miami versus Philly, LA versus
You
Denver.
really set the shit on his head to say, "No, nigga, the Bucks." But, but, but this,
And that was after Chris Paul went down.
that's what it was. That's what I want. That's what I wanted. Even though it was a bad matchup for us going against the other team, I thought Philadelphia to me was like this was their year to be able to get through. Like if
Yeah.
Boston just went, Milwaukee went,
And I
and
kept
added a 1, 2, 3 team in the
but I kept saying
East,
they
now to
not
break
gonna break through.
to the
Did I
Ain't no
not tell you
breakthrough,
that,
it's a
Kenneth?
breakdown.
Kenneth, did I not
and
tell
I
you that though?
thought this would be the year. Hey, I thought you did, but this is the thing. It was
I
different
just
when they beat Boston twice and
I just want
at home.
I just
Win
want
for
my
one.
acknowledgement like Frank. That's all.
Hey, look, hey, I've been said that, but you can't lie. You were happy to be looking a
No,
little crazy when it was like, damn,
I
they beat
wasn't
these
worried
niggas
about
in
that. I
Boston.
wasn't worried about that.
They
I
ain't
wasn't.
no LeBron
I
getting
wasn't that
this
worried.
season. I mean, honestly, because the fact they beat her in Philadelphia was just like,
Yeah, home
damn,
court.
home court
No,
advantage is
the
something
only
different.
only reason why I say it didn't matter
It
was
just don't
because
matter for
just like
Philadelphia.
okay, if you watch the game today, those Boston fans were not the same way in Boston. The first two games,
Hmm?
the fans this game was rowdy, and I'm talking about
But yeah,
they
John
was
Wall.
on everybody.
Oh,
They was on everybody.
Oh yeah, they were going crazy because of that game
But
six.
that
the
free
first,
Boston.
If
but the
it
first
wasn't
two
for that,
games they
They do
weren't
like that
as
free
rowdy
Boston logic.
as this game seven. So that's why I was like, it's not that big. It was you have to see how the fans feel. You have to feel out the fans because that'll tell you how the games are usually gonna go. If the crowd is hot, you like, oh man, this is home court advantage.
Hell yeah.
Because some games you're like, man, is it home court advantage? It looked like it. I mean, the fans ain't really fully involved in the game as much. So it's like that's why I never count out the Warriors because the Warriors have such a great
Don't
fan
that.
base
Ain't
that
nobody
every
here.
game is like, man, they got a chance to win because the fans are rocking. The building. I feel like there's points of the Warriors games where it's like, fuck, if Klay Thompson or somebody hit a three, the fucking roof going to explode off this place. That's why I'm never like, yo, I'm not betting against the Warriors because they got that. They got when they have that flow, they got that flow.
And also to back to the point of the Lakers and Warriors,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
actually had the
mm,
Kings beating the Warriors, and I actually like was favoring the Lakers because like the Warriors are just a bad road team. Like they couldn't win on the road,
Yeah.
so they couldn't flip that advantage back to their home. They could win at home, but if you can't win on the road, like you're just dead in the. Because all they got to do is literally win one road game and then.
Yeah. They literally.
Yep. Yep.
that was Philly. That was Philly too. I think they might have snuck one, but
Philly had the best record coming from since the All Star break in the East, and the Lakers had the best.
in the Warrior, oh,
No, the Warriors had the best home record.
I was saying in the Warriors and the 76, the Warriors and the 76ers
At home.
messed up because you're bad on the road, but then you gave one away at home, which is what messed you up in the long run.
Yeah.
Just being able to not listen but hear somebody with the intent of understanding, going into a situation like how can I grow from this conversation, and also what not only the words they are using but what are they trying to say. And I feel like nowadays it's even more imperative that we practice on active listening because it's something that you're not taught
Mm-hmm.
and you're not really cultivated to have this skill in a manner that's effective because most of the time we're raised to be like, oh, we're special, we're important, we're unique. But when you take a step back, you realize that that could go for the other person that you're conversating as well. Like they see themselves in that same way, a lot of ways. And for me, it's I say it's one of my
Mm-hmm.
weaknesses that I act like it's ironic, active listening that I actively work on. I try to sit myself down. I try to get myself uncomfortable by listening to people and seeing what they got to say and see how their perspective differs from mine. So when we on this podcast, just having regular pauses like I just did just then to train yourself to slow down your thoughts so you could follow along with what the person's saying, and you're not thinking about okay, soon as they stop, okay, let me go ahead. No, just let the pause, get comfortable with the pause, breathe, and then respond. And a lot of times, we say we say but we're trying to catch up, get our words to catch up with our mind or what we're trying to say. We're trying to always do two things at once. So if you're trying to think about what to say, you're not listening to the person, so you're not really taking in what they're saying, and you're gonna respond, and it's not gonna connect. And then that other person, because they're looking at themselves in the same way, like, oh, I'm unique. What I say is valuable. What I think means something. Look at me, acknowledge me, because they have that in the back of their mind. A lot of times you turn people off, and the conversation doesn't go anywhere. So I just want to give y'all that tidbit, wisdom of the week, just active listening with the intent of understanding, listening with the intent of being effective, taking the conversation to where it's something to gain from both parties. Yeah, that's it.
Happy Mother's Day to all the
Happy
mamas,
Mother's
baby
Day.
mamas, godmamas,
Mother's Day.
grandmamas, aunties,
Mm.
stepmamas, soon to be
Is he
mamas.
is
If
he
you
high?
sucking on some titties.
Oh, yep,
Well,
there
so,
it
see,
is.
Is he
see, see,
high?
come
Yep,
on now. Oh my
there
lord.
it is.
All right,
All
y'all.
right,
He
all right.
You
good?
know
So
what? This
good
man, this
episode.
man, the man Frank had a beautiful word wisdom of the week, and you just ruined it talking about
Yep,
sucking
that
titties.
makes so much sense. It
God damn! Did you
gotta
not
be
listen to
Kenneth,
the man
man.
Frank? God, dog.
Oh,
You started off great bringing up the
no,
mamas, and then
no,
you
no,
just
Kenneth, you
Kenneth, you
done.
gotta take the L. Just take the L, Kenneth.
No,
Take the
you
L.
ruined
You like,
it.
my bad.
You
oh
ruined it. Of
lord.
course.
Ooh,
You
ooh.
had to. Go ahead,
Kenneth,
man.
Kenneth,
Hashtag cancel
Kenneth,
Kenneth, man.
Kenneth, I'm gonna tell you something that when somebody tells me this, I know I'm down bad. I'm praying for you.
We was at a
I'm
high.
praying
We
for
was on
Kenneth,
a
man.
I'm praying for you. When somebody just hit you
we
with,
too
I'm
high.
praying for you.
All
You
right,
know, like,
I'm
It's
gone,
going way
man.
too.
I'm done with y'all.
anyways, y'all have a good week.
All right.
Thanks for tuning in to the Heavily Opinionated Podcast. Good night. See you later. Lakers in 5.